Alright guys, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me or whatever, because this is a new setup and I'm trying things out for the first time. Let me get rid of that right there. Alright, so how are we looking? Just looking okay? Everybody? Hey, there's Carrie. Hey, Carrie. Okay, so John says no problemo. Anybody else? Audio, video look good? Got a new camera, so my audio, I don't know, about the delay. We're shooting on a new HDMI setup. Is the audio okay? I'm looking. Let me see here. Yeah, it looks like I'm not blowing you out, and it sounds all right, maybe. All right, Robbie Mac, Rover. Cool, thanks, man. All right, so I went out and I used to DJ. It's been a few years ago. Me and my wife used to run around doing DJ, and I had this old table sitting outside Oak Tree for, I don't know, probably a year and a half now. I went outside today and I picked it up because I was going to use it. It's going to be my table now for this, so I can fold it up and get it out of the way, and I can work in here, and then when I'm videoing, I can do what I need to do. However, I looked the outside over and swept it off, because it had some dirt on it where it rained and stuff. Got inside. Yes. Still got my rose. That's cool. Thanks. Anyway, from murder. That's just funny. All right, so I have a 5-second delay set, guys, because my internet can't handle anymore. Anyway, back to the table. I went outside and I picked it up and I brought it inside, and we live in a 1980 mobile home, so everything had shag carpet and all that stuff. Well, we've been replacing. We've got hardwood floors and putting in new floors. Well, this makerspace is the only room that we haven't changed. It hasn't changed from the shag carpet that was in here. The floors still have soft spots in them where the particle board's coming apart, that type of thing. So we still got to redo the floors and stuff in here. But I brought the table in here, and I had swept it off. I was good. I was going to not make a mess. Anyway, I opened it up, and the ants had built an ant bed all inside of it. They had left it, but all the sand was still in it. So that all hit the floor in a big pile in the shag carpet. Well, and since we have been getting rid of shag carpet, all we have is a little stick vacuum. Like the little Dirt Devil stick. It's got a beater bar on it, but it's basically a, what do you call them? Them little Dust Devil things that they used to make. It's basically that with a beater bar rod on the end of it. It's crap for picking stuff up. Thanks for the reply. Not a problem. I try to, it's what makes my stream so long, is I try to keep up with chat just as much as I keep up with what I'm doing. And what we're doing today, what we are doing today is prepping this. And you know what? I thought I had everything ready, but I don't. I got to get some alcohol because I'm going to clean this before I put the PEI on it. And we're going to do this step by step. First thing we got to do is put the, the 4 corners in it and the stand-ups, the standoffs on it. And I'm going to put the 2 in the middle, even though that I don't use those on my mount. And then I'll wipe it down with alcohol, and then I'm going to try, crossing my fingers because I only got one. Only one came with it, and that's to put this PEI sheet on here. And oh, it's going to be fun. I'm going to tell you right now. So there's 0, 0. So we're going to put that on the very front. It's too big. So anyway, even if I get it crooked, as long as I'm close to the edge, I can trim it after that. So that's cool. That's all right then. It's crooked cut anyway. All right. So y'all make sure that y'all are live in chat. I don't want none of this sitting around and just watching me, because that's just not any fun. We're doing this live so that we can have interaction here, fellas. Ask any questions you got. You can see the printed printer here. This is where the bed's going to be going. Right there. It's not going there this week, so we'll do that next week. I have a maker fair in Jacksonville this weekend, and this needs to be printing, and I don't need to make improvements like I did right before Murph. And I haven't changed anything from MRRF, so it's still going to print like crap when I get to Jacksonville, but we're going to let it be. All right, so how's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing good. First things first, I guess we need to, yeah, let's get these standoffs out of here. Wait a minute. I got them in the bag over here. We have a thermistor, and I'm going to look at the MK2 over here to see how they did the thermistor, because I have the aluminum tape, which I think they put on theirs, and I also have the PEI tape, or the, what do you call it, captain tape. Not PEI tape, captain tape. So I have some little roll, and I have some wide roll, and then I have some aluminum tape, and I just need to see how they put it together. Instead of removing the glue back, make corner clips for the sheet. Corner clips for the sheet. Y'all, John can't type tonight. Woo! Hey, John. Rover, I actually watched a video on it. Oh, and my son-in-law's here, y'all. Everybody say hey to Lorenzo Clark. He's serving his country in the Air Force. Thumbs up, buddy. All right, so first things we got to do is put these standoffs on. And these are really nice. I like these. And we're going to find out what size Allen wrench this is first. But they go in the little corners. The standoffs are in here, and the standoff screw on them. And this is pretty much identical to anybody that has a Prusa machine to the Mark 42. Now the Mark 52 uses different standoffs. NJ Printing, guess what? That will pick up, buddy. Yeah, I mean, believe me, I got a big boost, and I want to say thank you to everybody that saw me on Joel's video and came over. And I appreciate Joel telling to no end for interviewing me at MRRF. Had you guys gotten interviewed at MRRF by Joel, I'm sure that you would have got a sub boost as well. I didn't get as big a sub boost as some. You know, some people get lots of big ones. Thank you for your support. You're welcome, Lorenzo. And soon to be happy birthday to Lorenzo and welcome to the world of 3D printing, because at my suggestion, my daughter bought him a Ender 3 while they're on sale, and that was cool of her. Lorenzo, is Danielle there with you? Or is she going to watch on her phone so that we see her name when she talks to? Oh, there she is. Never mind, I see her. So y'all are watching on individual phones. Isn't that great? All right, I got to get some. Y'all don't look at my legs now. Okay, good. You can't see them. All right. Yeah, I'm in shorts, and I ain't got the prettiest legs. I don't get out in the sun much. Try not to. It's hot. All right, so let's tighten these down so that they are done. And if I need to, I'm going to check it in a second and see if I need to get an Allen wrench. A lot of times you don't. This PCB will actually grab pretty good onto the screw. So the machine screws actually hold pretty good, and you can just tighten the standoffs with that. Standoffs are done, people. All right, let's try this again without blinding y'all. I got to get some alcohol. Got some somewhere. Well, I said I did. Oh, there it is right behind me. I didn't even have to get up. I'll be dang. Oh, NJ Printing, that's pretty daggum good. I mean, a lot of times, Noah and Josh, I mean, people will watch printing, just plain printing. But, you know, that's not everybody's cup of tea. And I'm pretty sure mine will slow down too, because I do long form videos, and not a lot of people like long form videos. You know, if you go back and you look at my, I don't even know which one to tell you to go look at. But if you look at most of mine, even my 8-hour video, the average view time is like 16 minutes. That's most people that want to spend on YouTube videos is about 15, 16 minutes at a time. That's it, no more. So I mean, unless you're doing something that grabs their attention and keeps it, that's what you're going to get, you know. And believe it or not, I actually had, I don't know why, but I looked the other day and I had 5 people that had unsubbed, which is weird because I didn't have that many subs to begin with. So why would you unsub from me? All right, I got to fix this microphone, y'all. It's driving me nuts. I put it in wrong. But I enjoy doing the live streams better because I like the interaction with the comments. John Mark. Hey JT, how you doing in Australia, buddy? Ain't you in Australia? That's a pretty good ride from here. All right, so let's see which way we got to go. We got to go this way. So what am I going to do here? I am actually going to put that all the way to the front because, yeah, we're going to try that anyway. All right, so if we pull off just a bit. All right, let's see what we got here. We can get this done. The prep, actually, this video really shouldn't be that long. I really wanted to do it when I could put it all together and all that stuff, but I'm gonna try not to go a week without putting out some sort of video. So I am going to make this video, then we can chat if y'all want to. I know some people are still over watching Colin. Colin's a good guy. Good guy. Good guy. All right, so now let's see if we can put this down right here. What do I do with it? I'll be dang. There you are. All right. So let's take my squeegee here and see if we can get this stuck down like we're supposed to. Get all the air bubbles out. And I got this rag right here so I can use my finger to push and get it down too. It came with the board actually. When I ordered it from Orballo, I got the kit that included the PEI sheet and all the standoffs and the thermistor and all that kind of nice good stuff. So we are going to do this little bit by little bit across here. Make sure that we keep the air bubbles out. And hopefully I'm pretty straight, which don't really matter because I'm actually well below the 0-0 line. That Mike Whaley, a man who can multitask. Hey James, how are you, buddy? I'm glad you showed up. Reller 82, no, you didn't miss much. And you know what, guys? I'm sitting here putting my hand all over the dadgum thing. Probably gonna get spots where I need to re-alcohol it, but guess what? It ain't happening. Hopefully this glue on the back of here is stronger than the grease on my fingers. All right, so let me take. And what is it? I was cleaning, but I did. Reller 82, no, you didn't miss much, buddy. We just started putting the PEI down. I put the standoffs on it, and I am trying to make sure I get 0 air bubbles in this thing. And I guess, you know, having the vinyl cutter here and doing vinyl kind of helps in this. See, we got I don't know if you can see it over here. We got a 28-inch vinyl cutter over there. Okay, James, that's fine, buddy. I know how it is. You're a busy man. You got a wife and stuff you got to take care of too, man. I know how that works. This is going down pretty good. It's not going too bad. But I want to do a little bit at a time because I really, if you get ahead of yourself, you can get some air bubbles in here. And you know, once you do that, you're screwed. And I don't really have another one, and I don't want to get on Amazon and buy another one and have to try to take this off. So let's see what we got here. Oh, and one of the reasons I'm not showing the top shot camera over the top, and I'm probably not going to, is this table's wobbly as crap. I don't know if y'all see that? The camera's cooked on it. Hey, Dragon Monk, how are you, buddy? Glad you could come. 3D Medic Vince, I didn't say hey to you. Let me see who else I got up here. That JT. Well, JT, man, if you got to go to a meeting, I understand that. Have fun with that. And I love it you say this morning because it's 8 o'clock at night here. You know, I know you and Angus and Lady Muse over there, y'all are on the other side of the world. And I think there's a few other, you know, Aussies that get on and you know, try to interact with folks in the U.S. And it's hard. Yeah, I do. Because we do vinyl, Robbie Mac. Yeah, we do vinyl too. So yeah, we have all the tools for doing vinyl. And this squeegee, I looked online, and it's almost a must for putting down a PEI sheet if you don't want to do it again for a while. And I do hope y'all come back for the actual putting this on the printer and setting it up. Uh-oh, move my mouse, I can't see now. 10:15 a.m. Wednesday. Well, it's 8:17 p.m. Tuesday here. You do wraps for a living. How about that? Uh-oh, I pinched my paper. I hate it when I do that. We need to get together because I got a truck that needs a wrap on it. We need to camo wrap it. Where you at, Robbie? I might have to come see you. I can bring you one of my home-built printers for a wrap on my truck. How about that? Plus that top secret project, hey Walter, calling it Redder Printer 1. Hey, you know what, James? That's apt, buddy. That is very apt for that. That's nice. I like that. Somebody do me a favor while I'm doing this. Danielle or Lorenzo, type in the comments and ask Carrie if closed captioning is doing anything for her, if it's doing it real time or anything, if she's still here. Y'all that don't know it, Carrie is deaf. She's a friend of mine that lives here. Her daughter and my daughter have been best friends since pre-K, and she's deaf. And I told her that we were doing a live stream, but I don't know if YouTube has any built-in closed captioning, or if she might have something on her machine that does it real time. I'm not sure. That's interesting to me to know, because if somebody else comes in and they're hearing impaired and they need some help, then it would be nice to know if Carrie has something. Indianapolis, half race stuff, half commercial. Man, you're too far from me, son. I just came through there the other day when I left Murph. I ain't doing that drive again. Good God Almighty. I mean, I'd love to have my old truck wrapped, but I don't think the old 84 GMC gonna make it that far anyway. It does have an antique plate on it. Oh, it bumfuzzles me that 1984 is an antique vehicle. But according to the state of Florida, I get that pretty blue tag for cheaper than I can buy a regular one. So I ain't fussing about that. Once I find the short in the sucker and fix the windshield wipers, I'm set. You know, it's amazing to me, because most of the makers that you meet are multi-talented next year. LOL. Still not driving that 84 GMC to Indianapolis. What's up, Sean? Glad you can make it, buddy. Y'all popped in on Colin. How's he doing over there? He should be close to printing here soon. I hated I had to leave him, but I just can't run these too late. All right, we ain't got much more on this.
and we'll see about trimming her off. And see how she looks, because she's looking pretty dadgum good to me. Alright, let's put the last bit down. Alright, let's see if we can. I think that's alright right there, fellas.
Danielle Lorenzo, I didn't see y'all type anything on there. If you do vinyl, you can do your own camera wrap. Wrap films are really easy to work with. You don't need me. Besides, I mostly design, not much install. Closed caption not available. I don't think it do it on live stream. It may not, John. You may be correct. Like I said, she may have some software, being hearing impaired, that does it live stream. I don't know. I know that way back in the day, when I worked on computers, we had a lady that was blind, not deaf, but blind, and I know that's two totally different things. I mean, I get it. We can't find CC available. Well, no, I get that, Danielle. That's what I was asking. If she has something that does it, it's okay. And she did get a cochlear implant. Looks like he's doing all right finishing up the wiring, but he is asking well, crap. I'm glad. I wish I was over there. I wanted to help him, but I had to do this, y'all. I mean, I'm sorry. You know, I got to stream myself, and I hope he gets her. I'm sure he'll get her done. I mean, he was on the home stretch. Let's see if we can trim this stuff off here with this. I don't know how sharp my razor blade is. That's the problem. Not too bad, actually. All right, so let's take you and run you down the edge. Man, that's a pleasing sound right there, believe it or not. All right, so let's take and cut that little corner off. For those of y'all that didn't see the unboxing of this, and I know there's probably a couple of y'all because y'all came in with Joel's recommendation. So what I'm gonna do now, all right, since everybody loves this, we're gonna do, let me pull up this overhead shot right here. Hold on, let me kick it. Top shot, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the video just for them. I'm gonna put it right in there. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. My goodness, look at that. What? Oh yeah. I don't get it. I really don't get it. All right, I'm gonna rub this down again. And they say, from what I understand, when you pop this over about 100 degrees, or at 100 degrees, you can hang up getting this sucker off again. But y'all know what? Let me go back to the front before I get lost here. That looks pretty good. Heck yeah. Looks like an MK42 to me. Oh. Hold on, y'all. I want to type. I got to find my screen. I done moved the stuff around. No bubbles, yay, right? And you're right. Really, that is sexy. Anyway, my friend Carrie, she actually did get a cochlear implant, and yeah, she can hear. And I don't know how she hears. I don't understand. I've never been deaf, never had a cochlear implant, so I don't know. But she can hear. So is it flexible? Is what flexible, Sean? And Reller, you got to stop calling me sexy, buddy. That just don't work for me. Oh my goodness, I kill me sometimes. WD-40 is great at removing glue. Yeah, Rover, but I don't, not the compound I think on here. You have to put this crap in the freezer in order to get this sheet off of here. And this adhesive is just a booger. I mean, from what I understand, it's just a booger. I did just find something that I really appreciate.
appreciate from Orballo. And I'm going to say this, sort of, but I usually get the idea at the end. Anyway, this heated bed is a clone of Joseph Prusa's MK42. This one that's on the, and I probably should move that over here so you can see it, that is on the Mark II. Okay, this is a Mark II hair bow that I built out of 2040 extrusions. This bed is a clone, and it looks flat. The contact points look good for, you know, what we're gonna solder to here in a minute. But what really impresses me, and I don't know if you can see this, let me go back to the top. I don't have my tabletop set up right now, but we're gonna go back to the top shot. I'm gonna pull this in and see if y'all can read that. It doesn't wanna. At the bottom down there, can you see that? It doesn't wanna. Anyway. Okay, Carrie. But the bottom of it says heat bed MK42 designed by Joseph Prusa. So not only did they clone his open source, they give him credit on the back of the board. Which, hold on, let me grab one. I want to show y'all because I've bought clones before. And more importantly, I bought the Mini Rambo clone from a Chinese manufacturer. And I know you can't see this, but right down here on the board itself, it's got Ultimachine's name. And that's the only thing. But if you lay this right beside a Mini Rambo, it looks like they used the exact same silk screen. I mean, it is identical to a standard one, except for the power plugs. I was actually looking to see if I had any extra power plugs, but all I've got is the Chinese sets from this. I actually have two of these, I think. Two of the Mini Rambos from the Chinese place, because the first one didn't work, and instead of me sending it back, they just sent me another one. It didn't work either. So, anywho, let's go back to the front. And I have my wire that I've already got. I was using on another printer, so it's ready. I'm going to stick this down in the flux. I'm going to scrape some flux onto the copper here. Then I'm going to put some solder on the pad. I'm going to tin the wires up, and then I'm going to solder these wires. Now I do not have the other end. As I said, it's being used on here. Before we do, should I do it before I solder? Nice attention to detail. Thanks, Trailer. I appreciate that, buddy. Before I do the soldering, I think I'm going to put the thermistor on. No, I'm going to do that after I solder the wires, I believe, because I got a little flux here, and I know you don't always need flux, but I like to use it because it's just cool to use it. It helps out some. So I'm going to take me a little toothpick here, put some on the pad right there. So this is some corrosive stuff, though. I will tell you, when I first got it, and you know, I didn't realize I hadn't soldered in a long time, and a little bit of soldering I did back when I worked for Cleaver Brooks. I don't even think I used any flux. I didn't realize how corrosive this crap really is. I used a plastic special solder, high temp, or anything neat. Not that I know of, buddy. I got some plain old plain Jane friggin' electric solder here. I don't have any idea. I hope it ain't no high temp stuff. If it is and it melts off, guess what? I'll have to get some and resolder. I haven't watched anybody do one of these. Matter of fact, I haven't seen one of these set up before. I've seen, you know, people talk about them, but it may be why my review, I'm gonna need you again. Maybe why my review is or my unboxing is so popular on YouTube because there's not a lot, which is really crazy because they're a lot cheaper than the Joseph Prusa one. All right, I'm gonna set that up there. Now I'm gonna put this corrosive crap up. I got some magic fingers somewhere. There they are. So I can hold this while I'm tinning it. But yeah, I don't know that there's a whole lot out there on these boards, and that's why people are so interested. And I'm glad you're interested. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad you're here. But I think even before, hey Ron Floyd, I think before even Joseph said anything about my channel, or Joe said anything about my channel. Joel, I'll get it right in a minute, dadgummit. There were a lot of people were watching that video. All right, so I'm gonna pop this over here. I just need to hold these and drag some solder on them so that you know. I ain't very steady when it comes to this crap. Oh, that's right. I didn't tin the end of my soldering iron, which I should have. Woo, smoky. All right, you're done. That's enough. I suck at this. Hope y'all are better at this crap than I am. All right. I got some tin in them, or some solder in them, but not a lot. Or at least it don't look like a lot to me, but it's some pretty thick wire. Hey, Chris Riley, did you make it? All right. How's Colin doing, buddy? Is he printing already? I can't stream and watch that one too. I tried to. Colin's wondering about the PSU wires, if there's a different way that he knows about. Nope, it's just positive and negative. And since it comes pre-wired, they already have it set. Mike Whaley, you can pop over there and talk to him. Drink more coffee. Buddy, if I was on coffee, we'd be going faster than we are now. What? Yeah, I don't need no plumbing solder. And I ain't doing this with no blowtorch. Alright, so my wires are tinned and pinched where I put the alligator clips on them. I used the proper term. I did not say roach clip. Oh, damn. Just did it. Chris, I guess you can pop over there. I guess you're helping Colin out for me, bud. Pop over there and help him out if he's got a question. I don't know. Right off, I can't really tell, so. All right, let's put some solder on here. Now, a lot of people put a whole crap ton of solder on these pads, which is fine. I'm gonna do quite a bit myself. Silver solder for all my electronics. Well, yeah, I know, man, but I don't do enough. I got this one here. I think it was like 20 bucks on Amazon. This solder station here that I'm using. I'm gonna try to put enough solder on these pads that I'm good and don't have to worry about it. All right, so there's the solder. So now let's turn it around here so I can get it right. VCC, we're gonna use the red one right here for the VCC. Come on, you can do it. Looks like I'm gonna have to put some on top of that. Stop, that's burning my finger. Ow, that's hot. All right, yeah, I suck at this. Badly. My son-in-law ought to be good at it by now. It's part of his MOS, right, Lorenzo? I do believe. All right, Chris Riley, good job. He got some wire question. Gonna keep an eye on him. Good, good, good. Wait, let me go back. Robbie Mack. Welder station was a great upgrade for me, being able to get nice and hot to desolder circuit board. Yeah, I guess so. And y'all, Carrie, she works at a at a place where she does a lot of iPhone and computer repair and stuff like that too. So she's really interested in this stuff, and I know it's hard. It's got to be. Uh-oh, don't do that. Don't turn loose. You bastard. Stay there. Boy, I suck at this. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit more on there. I could really use some thicker solder. Let me see. I think I got some thicker solder. I did have. Anybody need an A-net board? Wait, see that NG on the back? It's no good. I got another one right here though that I replaced that one with. Then I bought these mini Rambos and did away with all that crap. Oh, there's some solder right there. And it is a little thicker. Not a lot, but it is a little thicker. All right, let's put some of this on there. Yeah, that's a much better solder joint right there. And since it's for a heat bed, you know, we want it to, come on. This is the crap they give you with the solder gun, I think. It's a little thicker, a little more robust. Don't you pop off of there, you bastard. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. All right, so let's kill the soldering iron. Yeah, all right, we are squared away right there, y'all. I'm a total noob at soldering. I'm pretty good now. Flux makes everything better. Yeah, you're right. It absolutely does, and it makes sure the crap sticks to the copper like it's supposed to. See, it's not bad at all. Let me get it back up there. Wow! I replaced all the caps on dead computers to bring them back to life. That's still hot. I stuck my damn finger to it. Oh, that's gonna hurt in the morning. All right. So now I got to turn around here, and I'm going to turn my back to the camera, and I know you're not supposed to do all that, so y'all don't hold it against me, but I want to look under here, and I'm going to flip this board up, get some of this crap out of my way. I'm going to flip this up and see how they did this thermistor. All right, so it is close to the center. It's got a piece of aluminum tape over the top, and then Captain tape on top of that. And I don't know why or how, but that got up underneath my, okay, and then it just runs back there to the back. That's it. Oh, man, I got so much crap to do before this weekend. There just ain't no sense in it. All my nuts are down on my bed. Well, 2 of them are, not all of them. All right, so this is showing aluminum tape. Last time I did that though, I did aluminum tape, it shorted out my thermistor, and I really don't want that to happen. All right, so this has got to go. Let me see here. See, this one won't short out. That's the thing. On my other one, see here they've got, and let me go to the top shot here. Where you at? Top shot. And I'm gonna try my best. I can get it in there. See, they've got plastic. It ain't gonna focus. They've got plastic on the, there it goes, on the wires right here where before it didn't. And if I'm not mistaken, over here on this one, they spread this apart like so right there, like that. And what we're basically gonna have to do is put you like so. And we're gonna get a piece of metal tape and we're gonna stick it right down right there. All your nuts are down. Really? All right, so small Captain tape, big Captain tape, and aluminum tape. Scissors. Scissors. All right, so we take you, pop that there, like so. And then we take this right here, get us another piece of that. All right. So does anybody have any questions about this bed so far? You know, why I chose to buy this? Because really and truthfully, the bed actually makes you use Prusa's firmware. Let's spread those out a little bit more. A little bit like so. There we go. All right. So now if we lay that down right there. And we do what we're supposed to correctly. Duct tape will fix it. Yeah. You are correct. It will fix pretty much anything. I used to watch a Red Green show. James ought to know all about that. It's a Canadian show. I don't know if James is still in the chat room or not. But that Canadian was funny to me. Old Red Green, and that boy that played on Revenge of the Nerds was his nephew on there. And the Indian dude that played in Dances with Wolves, he was in it, or on it. And I enjoyed that show because I have family that's just like that. Matter of fact, I ain't far from it. But he always ended the show with, remember, if women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. And I actually wanted to use that for signing off of my shows, but I ain't gonna do that. You know, that was his thing, not mine. All right, so now we go with Captain. Carrie's laughing her butt off at something. I don't know which. Oh, probably at the all nuts are down thing. Carrie's a good woman, fellas. She really is. Really good woman. Nice, I like her. All right, let me see here. Quit biting your fingernails, Walter. You wouldn't have this issue. And I don't know which way it goes anyway. Let's try this. Nope, not that way. There it is. I believe. Oh man, that stuff just tears. Good Lord of mercy. All right, fine. Be that way. You know what? I probably won't ever use this again. Well, I ain't gonna say ever, but it's probably gonna be a long time before I have to worry about having this wide of a Captain tape again. So let's see if we can get it all the way to the edge. Oh, it's tearing. Dadgummit. There we go. Now we're back to where we should be. Let's pull it around. Look at all that tape I'm wasting. Ain't that lovely? This stuff's about $6 a roll, $7 a roll, something like that, and I just stuck it back to itself. Come on, boy. There you go. I don't need much of this anyway. But let's do this the right way. Put something there to catch it. Duct tape, WD-40, and baling wire. There you go. Matter of fact, I've been in the woods a few times when that was all that was necessary. All right. So let's take this. We'll take a couple pieces to cover this up. But we're gonna do it. There's one down. Let's go with a couple more so we can get her stuck. All right. And I know that y'all want to see this heat up, but y'all gonna have to come back. We're gonna put this on this printer over here next week. And I say next week, as I said, we've got the Jacksonville Makers Fair this weekend. And about 3 days before MRRF, I wanted to go in. Y'all can watch the video. It's on here. Matter of fact, if you're watching this after the live stream, I'm gonna put a link in here to it where I did my improvements for MRRF. All right, let me go back to the front screen. I didn't know I was still on top, but y'all could see what I was doing. All right, so while I was doing my improvements for Midwest Rap Festival, I broke this and I broke that. And anyway, it ended up not being improvements at all, just being crap is what it ended up being. Now I'm gonna use this narrow Captain tape. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna come right here I'm gonna grab a piece of this right here and I'm gonna cut her off. Instead of even worrying about opening that other stuff. Quit wasting tape. Alright, so let's see if we can get a piece stuck down right there. And really and truthfully, if I'm not mistaken, other than being wrapped together, which I'm going to do here in just a second, I'm going to get me a piece of, actually just one little wrap of black tape over there. At John Dooman. Uh-oh. God dang, I hate when I do that. Let me get a piece of this. Let's fold her over. John, come back and see us, buddy. I appreciate you stopping by. Sorry, I'm going to chat here in just a second. Alright, so we put that there. And we're going to get one little piece right here. Do we want it to be professional, or are we just going to do it? We're just going to do it, I think. Anybody checked on Collins? He printing yet? Sorry, I'm like Steve Carell from The Office and can't ever resist. That's what she said. That's all right. I don't mind that. This is an adult channel. I mean, don't get me wrong. I try my best not to cuss. But, man, if you go back and you watch pants under the am I supposed to have pants on, James? Really? Nobody told me all these YouTube rules, man. I just can't handle them. Oh, that's going to be too long. Son of a biscuit. All right, so let's take us a piece of tape right here. Just so that, you know, for shits and giggles. Oops, I said a cuss word. Dang it. We can, it'll just hold them in place is all. A little bit more strain relief. And there we go. That, man, that look at that. That looks so professional. It actually looks exactly like the MK2 over here. All right, this is my wife's. I got to put that back up. This goes with that. This goes with that. This goes over there. This goes with that. That goes over there. Over there. Everything's off. Yeah, okay, everything's warm, cooled off, and ready to go. All right, let me clean off my desk a little bit. How y'all like my poo? I finished him today, and he turned out really good. I was so happy. I really was. All right. Trash can. Trash, trash, trash. All right. All that cleanup I did today just for that. But it really did turn out good now, I have to say. That's going to be slicker than cat crap. That's pretty nice. You know, it's weird, though, because that's a PEI sheet, and the one that's on the actual MK42 is more of the captain colored. It's more of a gold colored than this. This is clear. I mean, really clear. Poo is pantless. Demonetized. Thinking about building an i3 with high wind rails. Do you think mounting the rails to a printed frame would work reasonably? Here's the thing. If you go and you take the rails into a modeler and you model the holes, it will definitely be doable. If you drill the holes and use plenty of nuts on it, then yes. Chris Riley, how did you clean the bed up? Actually, before I put the PEI on, there was nothing on it. So it was clean, Chris Riley. But I went through and I put some alcohol on it. But let me get back to Hill Country. I'm taking it. Hill CT, I don't know. Thinking about building an i3 with I-wind rails. If you use... No, Danielle. If you use... plenty of nuts on the backside and depends on, you know, your infill and that type of thing. But if you model those holes and you get them right, and you can just, you know, you can use a caliper to measure your hole distances, and you go in and you model them so that, you know, you get a captive nut and you got a bolt to it, yeah, there's no reason that they wouldn't hold. No reason whatsoever. The extrusions on my printer are pretty strong. And, you know, anybody that saw it can tell you, and Ryan Prior, I'm giving him a shout out, and I'll tag him in this on Twitter. He is building another one, and I mean his extrusions look so much better than mine. Mine were printed on an A-net. His was not. So mine were printed, you know, on an A-net, and they looked like they were printed on an A-net. And even though this printer prints 10 times better than the A-net that printed the rails for it. Okay, now on to Chris Riley. Basically, Chris Riley, I used some alcohol and a paper towel. I don't know if they have those in Missouri. You'll have to look. Paper towels may be a new thing. I know the toilet paper stuff is new for y'all. Just kidding, buddy. But yeah, all I did was wipe it off really good to make sure that there was nothing on it. And then I used their PEI sheet. And the only thing I have left is the pender probe in here. And my son-in-law tried to be funny, not the one that's on here, Lorenzo. Just in time for a new movie at Danielle Gray. Oh, Danielle, you're not getting all the Winnie the Pooh characters, by the way. You're 22 years old. Wait, yeah, 22. Not happening. You're not getting this Pooh either. Oh, and Chris Riley, I'm sorry, I was just joking. Certainly model them, just thinking about stresses that might be in the rails. I'd be printing the front. The thing is, Hill CT, is it Hill Kuntry? What does that stand for? What's your name? I can't pronounce Hill. Anyway, the stresses on the frame are not that much, and with the Hwy rails, when you bolt that to it, as long as the plastic is supportive of your nut and your bolt, that actually is going to stiffen up your rail anyway, because they're metal. So, yes, I'm going to tell you right now, if you bolt a Hwy rail to these extrusions, it will work. Now, I did see, oh, okay, another Colin. Okay, Colin. So, I did see one, you know, where they have the Hwy rail on the one arm that's just out by itself. It's only supported on one side, you know, and that's your X going up and down on your Z axis. I don't know that I would want printed rails on that. Now, let me qualify that. I think they're stiff enough. Let me pull one out and I'll show you. It's in the second drawer. Did I put them back in here? Anyway, I had two printed and don't know what I did. Oh, there they are. Go wait, I gotta get under the table. They on the other side and I can't get around it. All right. So let's have this discussion. I ain't been streaming that long. What I got? Oh, about an hour, which is not bad. All right, so here's two that I did. Okay, I can break that apart because I super glued it right there. But you're never gonna have as much force on your printer as what I'm putting on it right now. Not ever. If you do, you have some serious problems. Now, that being said, when you jam the nozzle into the bed, you do have some forces. So, but if you have a Hwy rail on here running the length of this, you're not going to bend that. You're not going to bend that. Don't judge her by age. If she can have a her husband is getting a 3D printer this month. My son-in-law will be able to print her all of the characters that she could possibly want. And as a matter of fact, their house will probably turn out like mine. She will be tired of printed characters. Believe me, James, she will be tired of printed characters. I know her husband. Anyway, so you're not going to bend this. You're just not. So even if you want it supported on one side and you got your X running back and forth here and you're printing away, if you jam it into the bed, you may break off over here where the lever actually works, but you're not going to break this. This is, and I know you can, let's go to Top Shot so I can show you. This is 85% infill. And if you look, it looks like 100%. And that's because at 85% it does fill it all out. This sounds too close. Oh, okay. Well, good. Lorenzo, I know I'm not wrong. You're going to print them and you're going to have a bunch of crap. Robbie Mack, you're absolutely correct. I'll be building using cannibalized parts from an A-net A8. Hey, here, let's go back to the front camera. Front. I'm gonna set this bed over to the side, and I know it's the Orballo stream, and we're getting it ready, but it's going on this printer so we can talk about this printer. Okay, this is the printer that I got interviewed for at MRRF, and I really didn't take it for that. I was figuring there'd be other people there with them. Didn't know I'd have the only one. Anyway. Yeah, James. All right, Colin. That's what I'm gonna stick with. This is an ANET A8 bed. This was all printed on an ANET A8, and if I didn't use the motors on this Haribo back here, then this would have had all the ANET motors on it. Now I have replaced all of the boards. I do not use any of the ANET boards at all. Let's see here, pull out the parts drawer here, and yes, there it is. Let's open the Ziploc here, reach in. Does that look familiar? And that one doesn't say NG on the back. Yeah, I don't use these anymore. I don't use the Robbie Mac. Here's the thing. Everything you see in blue on this, everything you see in orange except for the cover is printed. So everything but the motors, the belts, the electronics, that type of stuff is printed on this printer. And yes, the vertical rails are all printed, and this printer is solid, man. I mean, really solid. It does some really good print, really does. Now, that being said, let's put these down here. Let's turn this around. Blah, 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 blah. Get this bed back out here. When I put this bed on, I know that some of you may or may not know, you may or may not have a Prusa MK2. Okay, so let's go back to the top shot here for a second. Oh, wrong one. Top shot. There we go. All right, so, oh man, them lights are bright. All right, so I'm gonna go right here, and you can't really see them, but right here, all right, let me get my finger in the way. Other way, other end. There we go. Right there. Right there, you can barely see the outline right there. There's 9 of those in this board. Let me go back to the front here. Sorry. There's 9 of those in this board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are the only parts where this Pender probe will pick up this board. Oh, yes. Okay, what board am I running? Chris Riley, all 3, well, no, my Mark III is, of course, running the Einzie, but the Haribo and the frankenframe are both running the Mini Rambo. So the Haribo back here, of course, is running MK2 firmware with some changes, and that's what I was fixing to get to. This probe will only hit those 9 points. It will only work. Now, in the MK2 firmware, they have a calibration that comes through, and I mean, it does like 12 minutes worth of probing around these points to tell it, you know, how close it is to the bed, how you know, where the points are. The only change that you really have to make to the firmware when you first do it is at the 0, 0, you need to tell it where the nozzle is compared to where it rests on the X. So if you can go put your nozzle over 0, 0, and then it takes you 10 millimeters to come over and rest against the X, then of course you're negative 10 on there. And on your Y, you do the same. So when you go backwards, if it's negative 18, I think is what that one is, then that's what you put. And that way, with those settings, just with those 2 settings, it knows where to find this first point. Once it finds the first point, it knows how to find the other 8. And it will tell you if your skew is off, it'll tell you everything, and then that's used in your mesh bed leveling. All right, so let me go down. Orientation, vertical, or line flat with supports in order to get the T slot, V slot. No, they were all standing up. Now, I will tell you, slow it down And if you don't have a print, you have an ANET A8, right, Robbie Mac? Is that right? And I'll wait because I want to be able to tell you based on an ANET A8 or not. And thanks, Chris. I went with the Mini Rambo because they were on the Prusa's, and my plan was to use this bed. Well, I had the MK42 from Prusa on the Haribo. My plan was to use the Orballo MK42 on the frankenframe. I was hoping to get it done before MRRF. That didn't happen. CR10 and Ender. Okay, Robbie Mac, here's the thing. As you get taller, with that bed moving back and forth, the tops of those move. So you're at the very top. If you don't pause your print like midway up and brace it off, and I think Neary talks about this in his interview with Joel, take some skewers or something and hot glue them to the bed and to the part, that will stop that wobble. So basically, you're just going to stabilize these as you go up. Now, the way I printed them, that was difficult because my longest one, I think, was 155 or 175 millimeters tall, because I was printing on the ANET A8 and I printed all of them at one time. So basically I had like 14 pieces that I then glued together. And yes, all of these are glued together, and they're glued together with super glue. I didn't put a rod in them. I didn't use epoxy. I didn't do any of that. I put some super glue on them and clamped them together. That was it. Gotcha. Great Neary's video on manual supports. Yeah, I've used a lot. Yeah, and that's exactly right. But the problem is, if you're going to print more than one, then you're going to have trouble getting into the others unless you glue the outside to and then make a bridge between them all. And yeah, it was like 112 hours, I think. And then when I got done, I realized that I forgot 2 pieces, so I had to print those as well, which was another 13, 14 hours. At 85% infill at 155 or 175 millimeters tall, it takes a while. It's not a speedy process. FDM printing's not going to win any speed races. They talk about 200 millimeters per second. Yeah, that's great as long as it's flat on the board. That's all well and good. Now, I do got a question for y'all, since we're sitting here and we're chatting. But you proved it could be done. Yeah, and that was it. A lot of people ask me why, and I tried to tell them why not. I got on Thingiverse, and I found there's a frame on there. It's called the AP8. And instead of the all-metal ANET A8, which is the AM8, it's the all-plastic 8. So the AP8. It's on there. And I saw several people where they said they made it. And they did. They printed the frame. They didn't put it on. They didn't put nothing on it. They didn't put any electronics, no motors, no nothing. They just printed it, and it sit there looking pretty. You're like, okay, why would you do that? I don't know. But that was my purpose in building this. And with permission of Joel, and I will post it out there, I actually cut out the interview with me with Joel, and I'm going to put it on my site. And he said as long as I link to the full video, which I will, of course. And I'm probably going to start off with this, up in the corner, and then stretch it out so that, we can do it that way. But anyway, that was one of his questions, or one of the questions I got asked, especially in the other interview. There's like 3 interviews, and I ain't seen but one of them come out. But the biggest question I got asked was why. And the reason why is because we can. We have a machine that can. So why not? And that's what I want to do at the East Coast Rep Festival if I get to it. I've reached out for sponsors, and I want to do now a Core XY in this, because I think that a Core XY would be even more stable than even this one. And then I can just bring the 2 printed printers to Earth, and I don't have to bring my others. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure the MK3 is not leaving the house again. You can link to the video with the time code. Yes, I can, John Mac. You're right. But I asked for specific permission to do what I did, and Joel gave me that permission and asked me just to link to the video. Why buy extrusions if this works? Well, let me tell you. You see how tall this is back here? It's a 550 millimeter lead screw. These do wobble more than aluminum. They're not as stiff as aluminum. For a small Cartesian or for a Core XY, you know, even for a Delta, using the 3 pillars of a Delta, I think these would be fine. But once you get that head up that high, you know, it may work. I'm sitting here saying it, but as I think about it, I don't know why it wouldn't work. I really don't, because it's pretty solid. They're connected really good at the bottom. They're connected really good at the top. There's really not a lot of side-to-side play, and the bed's moving back and forth doesn't make the tower move back and forth so much. My dad was always amazed. My dad was always amazed at the only machines that could reproduce themselves. 3D printers are the new generation. John, mate, what is that? Oh yeah, I know what the time code is. I know exactly what it is. And I don't want to show just the video. It's going to be an inset of one of my videos. It's not just going to be the cut video of the interview, if you get my meaning. Lorenzo, there's no reason you can't build a Core XY. No reason whatsoever. And one of the main reasons I want a Core XY and or a Delta is because the bed doesn't move. And as it comes up, you know, you don't get that wobble. I'm sure you would more so even on a Core XY than you would on a Delta, because that head moving back and forth is gonna, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have any others other than these Cartesians, the Prusa i3 style printers. And Joseph Prusa, when he came over and looked at it, he just looked at it and said, "It takes a crazy ass to build something like that." And I guess he's right. I mean, it would. But other people have built the frames. They just didn't use them. E3D tool changer with all plastic. Heck no. I watched Tom's video on that today. Had it on the TV. That thing is kick butt. I actually did have some different ideas though on engineering some stuff. Make good time lapses. On. John, you said good time lapses on what? On printing the extrusions or building the printers? FT5. I don't know what that is. I don't know what FT5 is, John. I'm sorry. You know, it's funny to me because I'm new to 3D printing. I know how to fix errors. I know how to do things differently. And I jumped into building this printer, but I don't keep up with every 3D printer that comes out. And matter of fact, I mean, if it's over $500, I'm not going to look at it anyway, other than the Prusa. And I'll tell you like I told several people at MRRF why I bought the Prusa. Because without Joseph and other companies too, not just Prusa, but other companies too, Ultimaker, you know, without the innovation, and Ultimaker not so much because they're not open source. Oh, yeah, right. The FT5 when the hotbed don't move. That's right. But like Prusa and some of the other companies, and I don't know them right off the top of my head, that are open source, their innovations are what let us move all this stuff forward. So that is my $798 worth of keep doing what you're doing. Here's my little bit to help you keep doing what you're doing. Because without that, I don't build this. I don't build this Haribo back here. I don't have those things. Ricky, thank you for stopping by, buddy. Hope you have a good night on stage. Knock 'em dead. Break a leg, whatever you want to say. Don't really break a leg though, dadgummit. But yeah, that's really the main reason for buying the Prusa. I mean, it's a great machine. It really is. There are others out there that have the power off resume. There are lots of them out there that have, you know, the filament sensor. Now this bed, I will tell you, this bed is awesome. The spring steel sheet bed is awesome. And the powder coated, this one, versus the one that came with it, the PEI, is even more so awesome. Not gonna lie. 3D Maker Noob was asking about that tonight. Joe, and I'm gonna tag him in this video too, so he can see, because he was asking somebody about the sheet, and I'm gonna let him figure it out. Okay, any more questions about the bed? Since we got Chad up, any other questions we can discuss? Somebody let me know how Colin's doing. And I know I'm sitting here talking about another stream on mine, but I like Colin. Colin's a good guy. Flex bed looks awesome for sure. I need to make one for my CR10 S4. Well, big enough piece of spring steel sheet, you can do it with the magnets. I looked at doing it for some of these little ones, and it just ain't worth it. It wasn't. The spring steel sheet was more expensive than the bed. All right, guys, y'all fire away, because if not, I'm gonna end this stream and we're gonna get out of here. It's an hour and 17 minutes. That's pretty long. Well, I ain't even gonna say that, because heck, I've been 5 and 8 hours. I'm not doing that tonight, by the way. But yeah, this bed going on that printer, I think is going to be awesome, because then basically what I will have, Ryan Prior, I can't pronounce his name, and he's going to hate me, but Ryan Prior, or whatever, is hold on, guys, sorry. Yeah, Colin is good people, man. Him and Chris Riley were jam up and jelly tied at the thing. All right, let me pop over here to the Twitterverse. And see, I'm not sure. I don't know why YouTube doesn't show up. I mean, why this thing don't put out notifications like it's supposed to? That just don't make no sense to me. Let me go over here. Let me scroll over. I'm gonna pop this down here. Hit copy. Let me announce this stream on Twitter, because guess what? It wasn't announced. I don't guess it was. It might be. I don't know what everybody's talking about. All right, I'm sorry. Let me get back to the thanks, Colin. Robbie Mack, it's great to find somebody like you leveling your gantry with Yingling cans and shade tree mechanicry, but it works. That's exactly right, man. You don't want to say redneck engineering, because everybody does it. It doesn't matter where you're from. When you see a problem that you can fix, and you have this much mechanical inclination, you can fix it. It's just that simple. Duct tape and baling wire. It'll fix a lot of stuff. It really will. So, before we get off of here, for those of you that have seen my streams before, Robbie Mack, Chris Riley, Danielle Gray, Oh, have a good night, Sean. Ricky's heading to work, so he can't answer. But those of you that have seen my stream, what do y'all think of the new layout? Do you think the table's a better idea? I know the camera's better. Don't get me wrong. I know the picture quality's better, but is the lighting okay? The way it's set up, you know, this I can move out of the way. I went and got a wireless keyboard and a mouse so I can get crap out of the way and I can actually build on this table. But my overhead shots, unless I may be able to actually move a little bit closer to the camera and the computer desk and clamp them to the computer desk. But I need some input on this, guys. I don't get a lot of comments on my videos. I wish I did, but I don't. So y'all pop some stuff out there. I know it's a 5-second delay, but y'all can type faster than that. WD-42, that's right, Tanner. You're right. So right now I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna hit this vape for a minute and see if y'all can give me some constructive criticism on my video. Let me go back up here. Where'd she go? I'm scrolling back up to the top of the things up here. Where'd she go? Dragon Monk, John Dublin. Y'all answer the questions, boy. Y'all let me know. I know I'm sitting here looking at the screen talking to myself because I can't see your comment right now. Make up your mind. Are you still here? Looks good. I didn't miss any details. Maybe a bit brighter. Might be less rednecky. Wait. Are you saying that I need to be brighter? Is that it? Was my light bulb not shining very bright? God dang it. I got some more lights. I only turned 2 of them on. And one thing is because they're freaking blinding. I'm looking at these. Y'all see? Can you see the reflections in my eyeball? I need to get some of them big, what you call it? Thing. Look good. Can be brighter, but this is the first stream I watched. All right. I got 2 more lights. I can dang sure make it brighter. Lighting is better, less glare. Yeah, I guess, Lorenzo. Looks reasonable. Hadn't seen the old setup, though. Maybe move the front camera and angle it down slightly. What? The front. Reller's going to say he likes it. Overhead don't look as clear. Lighting could be slightly brighter. Okay, Robbie Mac. Yeah, I get that. I tell you what, I've got 2 more that I can clamp. And, ooh, man, I ain't gonna be able to see nothing. Y'all gonna kill me. But yeah, we can definitely do that. I can get some lights and stick them just somewhere. I don't really care for y'all seeing the crap behind me. If that's dim, I don't care. I can turn off the overhead light and not worry about it. Or see if the camera can turn up bright. It's actually, I probably can. But the Pro Tune is on the GoPro. This is a GoPro 3 Plus Black. I use it in my drone to shoot 4K video for my drone. And I was trying to get a better front camera, better viewing camera for these streams. And I'm only outputting at 720p. But the camera's actually shooting at 2.7K. So it's doing a pretty good job. I probably need to add more light. I actually have a couple lights. Let's turn them on back here and see if that helps any. I don't know if it will or not from back there. It's probably not going to brighten my face up any, but it will brighten up the back. Anywho. Oh, that did put some more light on. I can actually see me better. Oh, God. No, I'm just kidding. Robbie Mac, I enjoy people being here. I enjoy talking to folks. And I guess I'm going to get about the end. I got about 9. Let's give us 9 more minutes. We'll talk. How about y'all want to talk for 9 more minutes? That'll give us an hour and a half. And I'll be done at an hour and a half. This will be a good video. That'll be a good time. So, any more questions about building printers, putting printers together, troubleshooting, any of that? You know, any more questions about the printed printer? I mean, it prints good, so I'm not fussing about it. Hey, Lorenzo. Yeah, my birthday's coming up day after tomorrow. Why don't you send me some? And no, y'all don't send me nothing. My birthday's not day after tomorrow. Now, I will tell y'all, I did update my descriptions, as I was told to by more professional YouTubers than me. I now have the standard links down there. I have a Patreon, because I'm going to try to build this other printer and take it to MRRF, and that's all money out of pocket. Everything I do here is money out of pocket. So, you know, if y'all want to help out, that's great. I also have a Buy Me a Coffee link. 9 more minutes. Man, you need a new... I'm leaving that alone, Robbie Mac. You're going to get me in trouble on my YouTube channel. But I have a Buy Me a Coffee link. Oh, crap. I can't remember what all they are. I've got the affiliate link from Gearbest. It don't cost you any more money, but it helps me out a little bit. And then they might send me some crap to review anyway and give me more stuff to put on my channel. All of your printer is kits. All right, John Mac, that's cool. See, that's, to me, that's most of the fun is actually putting them together. And, you know, I even told my son-in-law, I wouldn't have fussed if he got an A8, because if you go back to my videos, one of my first videos was the greatest printer I've ever owned, and I talk about the ANET A8. Is it the best printer I've ever owned? No, not by a long shot. But it taught me more about 3D printing and building printers and how to troubleshoot and how to fix things than any other printer I've had. No link to your website. You're right, because my website is currently down. So it's Twitter here and Facebook. I don't have my Facebook on there. My Twitter is at Kuntry3D, so it's pretty simple to find. I will be remedying that soon. I have a cloud server that I use for work, but that will be pointed to my website, and I will build a new website, because that's what I do for a living, soon. So, no, right now my website name actually takes you to something that you can go play with if you like to, but it's a test application for reservations. Not as cool as your plastic printer. Oh, well, no. The thing is, though, without that kit, I would have never endeavored to build this plastic printer. Without that ANET A8, I never would have thought to look and say, hey, can we do this? Because I saw the AM8 and I'm like, you know, it's $84 for that metal. Just like I told Joel in the video, it was $84 and some change just for the metal. So I'm like, for 25 bucks, I can buy the plastic. Got on Thingiverse, found some 2040 extrusions, stretched them out to the lengths that I wanted to glue together, and printed them. The worst is I was out 25 bucks. And I'm not out 25 bucks. I have a good printer. But anyway, that's not what I want to be known for. I want to be a channel that does stuff like this. When I get this bed put on here, I am going to compare apples to apples against the clone, against the real deal. And then I have the MK42 or MK52. And I also have an upgrade. Ricky, inside the mind of Matt. Hey, Matt, how are you, buddy? Yeah, you did miss it. We set up the PEI and we did all of this stuff. Yeah, see, Tanner, the thing is, I already have a server. I already have hosting. Thanks, Robbie Mac. I appreciate that, buddy. Oh, you building another printer, Matt? Yeah, I'll have to wait and see, man. Put it on there and let's do it. But Tanner, I already have hosting, so we're not going to do that. Since Matt just got here, Matt, the reason for this video is I was setting up this Orballo MK42, which they actually give, and I said this earlier in the video. They said heated bed MK42 or heat bed MK42 designed by Joseph Prusa. They actually print that on the back, which is cool. So, you know, everybody's up in arms right now about the open sourceness of stuff. This is open source, and they give credit where credit is due right on their board. Yeah, that's right. I like the smiley face. But anyway, this started out as a blank board. I had to solder on my wires. I had to put the PI on, put the risers on, put the thermistor on here, and get it all taped down. And now I'm explaining what I'm going to do with it, which is put it on the plastic printer and do a side-by-side comparison running the same firmware, the MK2 firmware, MK2F. Do a side-by-side comparison with the original. Because, and I'm not knocking Prusa's board, because it's badass. I mean, sorry, the MK42 is a wonder. It's flat. It levels out great. It's just a friggin' fantastic printer board. And the zone heating is fantastic. This one is $26 less. Hey, Ron Hunt, how are you, buddy? Didn't even know you knew where I was at. No, I'm just kidding, Ron. This one is $26 less, and the shipping is $50 or so, $55 less. Yeah, Matt, me too, buddy. I was actually talking to a welder to see about welding a couple of aluminum sheets together. But back to this. So for, $67, I think it was, shipped to my door, I got this one. The other one's $87 and $60-something shipping, so $140. I save $80, about $80 buying from Orballo or Orballo or Bayo, however you say it. I'm not Spanish. But they come from Spain, and if this one is as good as that one, there's no reason not to build on this. From what I understand, Colin, from what I can gather today, and other people may be able to speak better than me about it, Creality has said that they're not going to be releasing the changes that they're making to the Marlin firmware. And that just steps all over the GPL, because that's the reason for open source. There you go, Robbie Mac. Short but sweet. And I know we're going to run this over just a little bit, but I enjoy talking, so we'll talk as long as y'all want to talk and y'all want to comment. I mean, I'm done with what the video was about. So if you were here just to see the board, you can tune out now. We may talk about it again, but I doubt it. So you can drop out, and thank you for coming, and glad you watched this far. If you're watching it later, appreciate it, but we're done with this. We're just going to talk now. But yeah, basically they just told everybody to shove it, that they weren't releasing their firmware anymore, is what I gathered. Now, I haven't read it. I haven't seen it. I saw an email that was supposed to be from Creality. It was kind of harsh for a business email, but that's what I understand. And believe me, if Joel Telling is changing the names of his videos and vowing not to use Creality until they start doing it again, then I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a fact, because that hits Joel Telling in the bottom line when he starts doing it. Not his bottom line, but you understand what I mean. It kind of shuts the door. I mean, it just does. And hey, Brian, thanks for stopping by, buddy. We're done with the main video. We're just chatting right now, but you're welcome to stay and join right in. Okay, here's the thing, Robbie Mac. Well, let's finish the GPL statement first. And that's one reason that I'm really hoping that this board works out, because I know it's a board, but the plans for this were open source, and Orballo didn't change anything, but they stated that it was designed by Prusa on the bottom of the board. So that, to me, as far as hardware goes, is about as good as you can get as far as open source hardware, is where you know, happy to stick around and chat. Cool, good. If you have any questions about the printer, the board, anything, just pop them up in here and I'll get to them as much as I can. Cool, Ron. Hey, man, I appreciate that too. But yeah, as a developer, I understand that, open source is one of those things. It's a decision. It's a choice that you make. Okay, if I start from scratch and I say, you know what, I'm developing a commercial software that I'm developing, I'm not giving the code out, that's one thing, and that's fine, and nobody's going to, bitch at me about that. But when you take an open source software as your base for your code, And the GPL is, you can use this as long as you check back in your changes and share your changes. You did it knowing that. Okay? So, you know, that code needs to be checked back in. That's how innovation happens. And hence the PRUSA. We pay for that innovation through our purchases. Now, Creality has said they're not doing that. Okay? Creality has a massive build volume on the bed. And I'm not sure that there's a printer in that price range that even comes close. So I kind of understand where it's got some people. Now, one of my buddies, he was on here earlier. He was talking to me in a private message on Facebook, and he was wondering if the community was going to be mad if they saw that Creality in his video. And the problem is, I don't think so. You know, this man bought what he could afford as a 3D printer before Creality came out and said this. So, I mean, he's had the CR10 for a while. So, I can't see throwing stones at him just because he continues to use a piece of equipment he bought. Now, he can decide not to build another one, but his videos, that's the machine he has. He has two. I know he's got a Mark III and I know he's got the CR10. But for build volume, the CR10 is hard to beat. And that's what he bought it for. So I don't see people, you know, slamming him just for having it in his video. Now, if he went out, you know, and bought a farm of them and, you know, and flaunted that, then yeah, I could see that. But not just for having one printer in his videos. Anyway, all right, so Colin said he was pissed that Creality didn't include a bootloader. I actually used my 88 as a programmer to flash bootloader so I could update my CR10. I actually don't even worry about that anymore. I built my own bootloader. This little thing right here is a programmer. Woo! And it works really good. Ancestral practices are copyright in China. China printer companies taking open source and keeping it secret. Yeah, that is, you're right, Robbie Mac. That is bizarre. I have this programmer and I have this one. And this is, what is this? This is a Nano, Arduino Nano. And then this is actually smaller than the Nano, and it won't program sketches quite as large as this one will handle. So this one was built based on a, I don't know, what do you call it? Instructable. That's what it was. I built that off of an Instructable. Anyway, let me get this bed out of the way before I put my arms on it. So, all right. Anybody else got anything? Ron, Chris, Matt, Brian. Did we lose Matt? Matt may still be here. I know he's a busy man too. Ron Hunt. Man, you still have no idea how happy I was to meet you there. I'm so glad that you came. Right, and I get that, Ron. That's exactly right. I don't think that him using the printer is a bad thing. You know, he purchased it. He spent his money on it, and I think it was his first purchase, and he didn't know anything about open source. He didn't know anything about GPL. And him and his sons make some cool models. So I think that. Oh, just listening. Okay, Matt, cool. I think that, you know, that's fine that he uses the machine that he bought. I'd be pissed somebody come and told me I couldn't use my machine. Using the A8 was more fun. They will forever be like Voldemort, the name you don't say. I hear you, Ron. And Ron Floyd, I don't know what you're saying me too about. And Colin, yeah, I can see using the A8 as a programmer would be bizarre. Where would you even do that? Hold on. Let me pull this out here. Not just bizarre, pain in the ass. Using that as a programmer would not be fun at all. I have so much energy. Yeah, I guess so, Ron. I guess so, man. I enjoy what I'm doing. That's the thing, I think. Hey, Ricky, that's fine, buddy. I mean, you know, the thing is, if it's, and I ain't even gonna say that. No, I'm not going to. Let's see. CRMAQ12 with ramps. Yeah, Robbie Mac, I'm gonna tell you right now. It's one of the reasons that I have the mini Rambos on mine. I've got a ramp set up. Matter of fact, I think it's over on the floor because it fell off the roof. It did. Hold on, let me grab it. Ooh. It fell off my shelf up top. I got a ramp. It's right there. What are these? It's the 8000 model drivers, whatever. I didn't never get it to work. Not one time did it work. And man, the fitment on this is crap. I think the underneath the bottom is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Wait. Oh, I'm gonna show this. I got this paused comment up here. Right there. The pain in the ass part was all the video of that process came out like crap. Let me tell you. Let's talk about video coming out. Oh yeah. So I have a good Arduino Mega, but ramps is shit in my book. Yeah. Maybe for something, but anyway. Let me tell you about videos coming out. This right here. This video. I have, and also on the Haribo. How about there? I've got 2 hours of video on that where I went to my Top Shot when I was first setting up OBS. And you'll notice that they stop. They just stop in the middle. After I fix the X or Y axis, I can't remember which. But my videos, they don't carry on to finish the damn printer. And the reason being is because I filmed it all together, like, you know, back to back. I was splitting it up. But let me say this. When I did my Top Shot, the entire 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever it was of video had no audio. Because if you know anything about OBS, you have to add your audio source to each scene, top, bottom, whatever. I didn't. So, I did not. I need Schooled in the Way or Rambo and Smoothie and Duet. Go Gators, Joe. I hear you, brother. No, let me say this, Robbie Mac. No, you don't. Get one. Get on their wiki. It's not hard. It's really not. It's plug and play like this board here. Just like this. Plug stuff in. Like so. And load your firmware. And go. That's it. There's no schooling. Now, Smoothie and Duet, I don't know. I don't have any. I've never used one. I really want to on my Core XY. That's what I want. I want a Duet. Duet Wi-Fi. Okay, back to the printing. I've got 9 hours. 9 hours. 9 hours of video on this printed printer that's completely unusable. I believe. I haven't looked at all 8 or 9 hours of it. There may be some of it that's recoverable. But in OBS, there's a start streaming and a stop streaming. And there's a start printing and or start recording and a stop recording. I hit start streaming, and that was before I had somebody tell me how to set my settings. And that somebody was Fun King 3D, Glenn, who hasn't showed up yet. Yeah, I get you, Ron, and I understand that. But that was my one and only. This is my one and only ever set up. And I was going to try ramps before I spent the money on the Rambo board. Yeah, no, it was just easier for me. Not that I don't like tinkering and stuff like that, but at that time I had one 3D printer, one. And you know when your only printer is down, you want it back up. You don't want to sit there for days at a time with no printer going. And after this video, I'm probably going to fire up the MK3 again because I got some other stuff I need to print for the weekend. I'm going to Maker Faire in Jacksonville this weekend. Anyway, let's go back to the thing. So I hit start streaming and my streaming wasn't set up. And of course we go buffer, 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 buffer. It was just crap. It was complete crap video. And it made me sick to my stomach. I have a little bit of, you know, the printing of the frame. I have a little bit, I think, of this printing a benchy. But that's pretty much it. That's what I've got. And it hurt my heart because I wanted to be able to show everybody that. Just like you with the ANET A8 programmer. That's awesome. Yes, Brian. No, and you did get here late, but yes. As a matter of fact, if you look, well, this is not where it's joined together, but there's two different filaments there. But right here in the front, right dead in the center here, mostly center on the side rails, and it's a little offset in it's right here in these. They are all joined together with this incredible substance known as super glue. And, you know, everybody's saying CA glue, but let me show you. It's super glue from Harbor Freight. Cheap super glue at that. Not even good super glue. Oh, yeah, Ron. Yeah, that was, and that's the reason for the Rambo. And then once I got it, and of course, I only knew about it because it was in the MK2, and that's what Prusa was using in his, and I did the research, and, you know, their success rate and their failure rate was very, very acceptable. And I will tell you, Ultimachine is a company. Oh no, Ron, it's video and audio. It is absolutely, yeah, it's crap, man. I only have a 1.5 megabit output here. Matter of fact, on here it says please check the video resolution. The current resolution is 1096 by 616, which is not optimal. And no, it's not. It's a crap resolution, but it's what I can do to stream out and have a decent video. I'm saying decent. I know I'm in it, so it makes it less decent, but a decent stream anyway. So, anywho, let me get this out of here. I can't stand that. I don't want it all cluttered up. Put Pooh up there. Pooh! Hey, Noah and Josh, y'all came back again. How are you? But yeah, it was audio and video, and it really was unusable. Now, on the other printer, I am going to go back at some time and, you know, voice over a time lapse of the couple, 3-4 hours, whatever it was, of building the hairbow, because that video is fine. That was recorded. Okay. I'll get to that in just a second, Noah and Josh. Yeah, Ron, it was one of those disheartening things, because I really wanted, you know, and I think those would have gotten a lot of views on YouTube, because people would have wanted to see that, me putting it together. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's basically an extrusion printer. If you watch anybody put an AM8 together with the metal extrusions, if you watch me put this hairbow together back here with the metal extrusions, it's the same. I mean, it's just a process to putting a printer together. There's nothing much to it. And yeah, I got that, NJ. I know what you were talking. But yeah, it made me sick to my stomach. It really, really did. All right, Noah and Josh, what camera do I use? Actually, this is a new setup, and my main camera now is a GoPro Hero 3 Plus. Okay, fine. I'll still be here, buddy. I'm not running off. It's a Hero 3 Plus black, shooting at 2.7K, which I reduce over here to just a little under 720p so I can stream it. My overhead shot here is a C920. I have another C920 that I'm going to use as a tabletop once I get everything set up. And then I have a generic that I might use for like moving around if I want to show you something else. But yeah, the new main camera, I was going to use my Nikon. I have a Nikon D5000. The problem is that there's no way to get rid of the on-screen display. For one, you can't get rid of the, you know, the setting screen around it. And two, it didn't want to work with the capture card that I got. And I got a cheap capture card. I got the, what is it? AGP Tech. I think it is. AGP Tech. It's on Amazon.com. It's a 1080p, you know, streaming capture card. I don't use the audio on it. I got the lavalier mic on the audio, which is a USB capture thing. And I hope it's okay. It looks like it's okay. I could actually turn the volume up because I notice they're kind of weak sometimes. There, can you hear me now? All right. Anyway, all right. So anything else that, you know, we've got to talk about? Brian's going back upstairs and coming back. And I don't guess Chris Riley ever came back. Anybody checked on Colin? See if he's printed a benchy yet? To brighten it up a bit. See, and that's the thing, Ron. I've only got 2 lights running. And I think that's one of the main reasons. This old mobile home, this old overhead light here is a couple LEDs. And then up here I've got a couple LED lights. Matter of fact, I could probably take these and point them more at me and not just, oh, I can't reach that one. No, I ain't stretching that far. I'm too old for that crap. But I've got a couple more lights back here that I'm going to try to set up as well, Ron, to make it a little brighter. I'm running the ProTune on the camera, and on my screen it looks fantastic. So I don't know, you know, I'm going to have to watch it and then try to play with it, I guess, and do some videos with it and see. But I mean, to me it looks pretty good. I don't look too red and you know, that type of thing. But yeah. Oh, there, good shot of the shirt. Colin MK3 is calibrated. Yoo-hoo! I'm so happy. I am happy for Colin. I am so glad that he got that thing running, and it's good to go. He's running through the calibration. That means he's that close to printing, which is awesome. I love my MK3. I'm not going to tell you a lie. This right here, this Winnie the Pooh, and I know you can't see it real good. Absolutely zero post-processing. No stringing, no nothing other than gluing the pieces together. I have done nothing to any of the parts. Now, that being said, if you look really close, and you can't really tell, but right here, this bottom part of the honey pot is actually wood filament. Smells good too. But it's actually a wood filament, then the, you know, the chocolate colored whatever, and then this honey color. This was what I was going to print the bottom out of, but I ended up going with the wood because I thought it looked better and that looked like honey. So it turned out fantastically. Any plans for a CNC machine? Oh, yeah, Ron, I do use OBS. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to skip over you there. Oh, it's good quality, just a bit dark. We'll brighten it up. We definitely will, Ron. Definitely will. And I appreciate all the input. And Reller82 said just finished rebuilding MK. Rebuilding. Who's both? Oh, yeah, but mine says something. His don't. Lorenzo, no, absolutely not. I don't know if you have my cousin Richie's on your page or not. I doubt it, but he just bought a CNC machine for I think it was like $8,000 or $9,000. Decent machine though. No, where am I gonna put a CNC machine? You know what room I'm in. You've been in this room. I mean, really? A CNC machine? I can almost touch the walls. All right. So it's just a bit dark. All right, give us another topic. We have gone, let's see where we're at. We are at an hour. I can't tell. Where the heck is the... There's some place that tells you how long you've been. There it is right there. All right. I'm going to cut it off at 2 hours. We got 9 minutes. 9 minutes to go over anything that y'all want to go over that I can answer or talk about or say hello to or whatever. We got 9 minutes. And that's all I'm doing. That'll be a 2 hour stream, and that's plenty long enough to do the Orballo bed. And I'm not going to, well, you can, Lorenzo, you can print most of the parts. The problem with the differences between the 3D printer and the CNC machine, the CNC machine, ERF, yes, I actually already have my room for ERF. Joel Telling said in my video he was going to give me $200 to get there. So the plans are made, Matt, for ERF. So 99% positive. Back to Lorenzo. The problem with doing a printed CNC machine, there's a lot more stress on a CNC machine than there is a 3D machine, 3D printing machine, because it's subtractive manufacturing. So there's always interference between the tool head and the part that you're shaping. So printed parts, and there can be printed holders or stuff like that, but like printed extrusions and printed frames and stuff for a CNC machine would not, I ain't gonna say it wouldn't work, because you could actually engineer it to be printed and work. I mean, excuse me, but no. My favorite filament, Ron, that favorite for all around general printing or just favorite in general? Because that's harder. Those are two different things. Filament I want to use every day, or filament that when I put it down I go, oh, that is so good. Which one? I need to know. You want the general usage or just my favorite overall filament? Because I have one for the first one. I don't know about one for the second one, because I've only used a handful. I know y'all guys do the maker boxes, even though you're I know that's the geek box you're not too happy with right now. But which one is it, Ron? Go ahead. Just the general everyday filament that I like to print with. What's up, red light? I keep forgetting your name, man. I told you I was terrible with names. Sad I can't go to Earth, have a trip to Yellowstone planned, and family would destroy me if I can't. Yeah, I hear you, Ron. I get it. Yeah, that was the one that also was a drawing machine, I think, right? Colin. Noah, Josh, give me a second. I got other questions to answer, bud. I will get to it. I've got 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. All right. Okay, Ron, answer. I need to know. Do you want the general everyday use or just the special filament? Which is it? I need to know. Matt's got a drum roll going. Wait, why? Is it time to go? No, I still got 5 minutes. Okay. Mike, that's right, Mike. I'm sorry. My bad. Miami Maker Faire in a couple days. Guess what? I won't make it to Miami Maker Faire because I'm going to be at a mini Maker Faire in Jacksonville. I'm going to set up the printer. All 3 of my printers, I'm pretty sure, unless I don't take the Prusa. I may or may not. I'm going to be there with Ron, the Happy Extruder. So I probably won't take the Prusa because he's going to be having his. So I'll probably just take the couple that I built and be done with it. All right, Ron, I'm going to go ahead and answer. Yeah, and I get that. My problem is he said it could do all the way up to aluminum, but if you watched his video with Tom, he was hesitant about that as well. You know, you got to work with it. You got to learn how the interference between the tool and stuff affects and stresses the stuff. So that was what makes me leery of that type of setup. Not that it's not cool. It really is. It's stinking awesome that he did that. Oh, you're waiting on me to tell you. Listen, it's not hard, people. It really isn't. My favorite general everyday filament, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've said it in several of my videos, is this right here. You ready? Matt, ready? This right here. 3D Solutech, every day, all day, I will print with this filament. Because cost to quality ratio is fantastic. Oh, well, now we can go to something else because I haven't even printed with the one that I think is going to do that yet. And I'll show you that in a second. But this is my go-to every day. These are $17 to $21 a roll. Almost exclusively. They're all on Amazon Prime, so it's 2 days maximum to get to my door. And they print this shirt right here. Let me get up here. This, the shirt, and the brown top right there, not the honey, but the brown top right there is 3D Solutech. That's this filament. This right here, drum roll. That's it, Matt. Now, Ron wants to know the ones that make me squeal like a little girl, and I think that's going to be this one back here. I don't know because I haven't printed with it yet, but it's here, and I think it's going to because I've wanted it since I saw it printed the first time. So we're going to go. We're going to go and we're going to get it. I actually have 2 rolls. One was given to me. We're going to sit down so you can't see it. Haha, snuck it in here. All right. My new love is PETG. Oh, no doubt. I love some PETG. Hold on, I'll show you some parts because I threw them in a box today. Right over there. They're for this printer when I do the upgrade. But at MRRF, I was given this roll. That's Vertigo Galaxy by Filamentum. Not Galaxy, Vertigo Gray. I haven't printed with this yet. This, however, I got, and this is Vertigo Galaxy. Okay? These two I have yet to print with because I have yet to find what I want to print with them. Now, I want to show Matt, since his thing is PETG, this is a PETG that I got at MRRF, but let me grab some parts here. Where'd I put them? Right here. This right here, these are some parts printed in PETG for my upgrade. This is eSun PETG. I love eSun PETG. It's, again, the cost to quality ratio is fantastic. Okay. This color matte is what I really like. Oh yeah, really? This right here, this is PETG and it's called Dark Crystal. It's from Spoolworks. I think the E3D lady gave it to me. Yes, she did. But it's actually not PETG. I'm sorry, it's Edge, which I don't even know what that is. But she said it was like PETG, so I'm assuming it's like PETG. Now, I, being a Gator fan, as somebody up there pointed out, love orange and blue. My orange and blue stuff, I do all the time. And I use 3D Solutech almost exclusively. Yeah, Ron, you're right. You're right. That's exactly right. Is a printer printed in PETG or PLA or ABS? Brian, here's an answer to that question. There are 2 parts on this entire printer that are printed out of ABS. One is right here, the Y axis tensioner, and another one is one of the corner brackets, either up here or down. I don't know which one it is. It's one of them. That's it. The rest of it is PLA. I bet y'all are making me run overtime, ain't you? Yep, I'm already over. But that doesn't matter. I'm not like Joe Mike. I'm not just gonna quit. Y'all are actually talking to me now, which is awesome. Well, red light. There's nothing stopping you, Mike. Just go right ahead, buddy. Sells MG Chemical. That is your go-to. Okay, I never even heard of that. Really, had never heard of it. The 3D Solutech to me, really, I mean, especially since I've got the MK3 and got the MK2 Hairbow. I mean, this is all 3D Solutech filament, but it was all printed on the ANET A8, and even with all of the stiffeners, you could get good prints on the ANET A8. Not as good as you need to get. It's still not a good printer. But now, that being said, I have printed Filamentum. This is Gold Happens, and I know it's not the greatest look, but if you look, you can see the sparkle. The Gold Happens is fantastic. This wood right here is a no-name brand wood. I don't even know what. I don't even think there is a name on the box. It's a wood filament. Let me see. There may be. Wait, you ready? Y'all ready for this? It says 3D printer filament on the box. Now, and then on the tag it says Hackka, Hackka.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Uh-oh. Alexa's talking to me. Colin, I guess, if you say so. I ain't never had any problems with it. Everybody always said that. With the E3D V6 and clones, the PLA doesn't get hot the way it's mounted. So I don't know why it would be an issue. It doesn't, with that fan running across the cooling fins on there, it keeps all of that surrounding plastic cool. That's the wood blend I used, and it's actually some pretty cool stuff. I've been happy with it. Now, it will eat a nozzle, but you know. And Matt, I don't live in Canada. I live in Florida, which is just about as far in the United States as you can get from Canada. So I wouldn't have any of that. 3D printer filament by Generico. That's right. That's exactly right. I think those stickers are just put your name on it and it's your filament. So maybe I should do some Kuntry 3D filament. Hey, Colin, you made it. How's that printer? Is it printing? Is it printing? Because if it's printing, I can get on the OBS and I can throw a picture, you know, up in the corner of your printer printing on my stream. Then we can just watch it all in the same place. Yeah, Matt, you're right. I'm sorry. I wasn't taking a shot at Canadians like I did with James the other night. And I was really ugly to James. No. I like James, love James to death, dude. And what I met of you, I like you too. But every time I think of talking to a Canadian, I think of friggin' South Park. Every time. Every stinking time. And I love South Park, so. On a part cooler. Yeah, and you're absolutely right there, Ron. I did do that. Okay. So when I put it on, which when I'm printing ABS I don't use, this is actually the part cooling fan that goes on there, or the shroud, is ABS. I did print this out of ABS. So, and you can even see where it actually touches the hot end right there. Even it's melted. So yeah. Foxmart at $18 a spool and cheap shipping. I've never heard of that. Filament sensor error. Did you put the little black block in there? Did you cover up the hole, Colin? Because there's a little block. It's a little bitty block that you got to stick in there. So check that, because if not, then it may be getting some light in there. And the thing is, I hate to say that, but when I'm running this red clear right here, I have to take that little block out of my Mark III and let the light in or it won't see it. Did you put the little light blocker thing in there, Colin? Because that will make a difference on regular filament. It will keep popping over and saying, hey, filament error, blah, blah, blah. So, or take it out. Try it both ways, because I'm telling you, with this red filament, I have to take it out. All of my other semi-transparent see-through stuff, or semi-see-through, whatever they call it, the blue, the orange, all of that, you leave the block in. For the red, you take it out. Kind of dumb. John's Canadian, but in Charlotte. Matt, are you in Canada? Yeah, you're in Canada. You said it was Canadian filament. But yes, Ron. Yes, that goes on the door, I think. Hold on. Let me look. Yes, and hell, where's mine? Mine's gone too. I don't even know where mine's at. Damn it, I'm gonna have to print another one, because I have moved my printer and knocked it off. Son of a buck. Anywho, yeah, that's the one. So mine's working without it, because I got pink filament and it's been running all day with all of the filaments in Winnie the Pooh and with no light blocker on it, which I don't have any bright light in it anyway. But yeah, that's it. Oh, you're in New York, Matt, so you're not Canadian anyway. Okay, try it off, Colin. Try taking it off and make sure that you have the plug the right way, because that can make a difference as well. Oh yeah, you can do that. You can do that. That's right. No, I'm not sure. I don't remember. I've slept since then. You can, but like you said, you can turn that off in the little screens. Go down to what is it, calibration or whatever, or settings, and turn the filament sensor off, and then run it. Sounds like a winner. We're gonna fix your printer on my stream. How about that? I can't believe I lost my little gate though. That kind of makes me mad, y'all. Because I'm pretty sure that I threw it in this trash can right here when I was scraping plastic off of here, because I couldn't get my Winnie the Pooh parts to stick like I wanted them to. That's right. I'll print another one tomorrow. I don't have any black PETG though. Do you know what does do when they, what? Does do when they go downtown. Do you know what does do when they go downtown? No, I don't. I really don't. I don't, Matt. I don't know what does do when they go downtown. What do does do? All right, hold on. I gotta pick this up because that's aggravating. It really, really is aggravating the snot out of me, because I set it up here so that I wouldn't forget it, and then I forget it and I move it. And I do that all the time. I cannot tell a lie. All right. Blow a few bucks. Man, this is his family channel. Really? No, I'm just kidding. So your poo wasn't sticking together. No, not that it wasn't sticking together. The eyes, you gotta look how tiny those are. Those are really tiny black dots, and they're printed, and they're like maybe 2 millimeters across, maybe. I wasn't using a brim for them, and they were not sticking to the bed. They were getting pulled off by the, just by the inertia of putting plastic on it. So yeah, that was just being a pain in my butt. That is funny though, Matt. It really is. Is that kind of like, you know, the reason I got kicked out of the Boy Scouts or the Cub Scouts? He got them beady little eyes. Oh yeah. I'll have to private message you why I got kicked out of the Cub Scouts, Matt. I'm not putting that on here. Oh, everybody woke up. Everybody liked your joke, Matt. Except for the parents and the censors. That's all right. I'm not monetized, so it doesn't really matter. What are they going to do? All right. Colin, are you still live streaming your stuff, buddy? Or you just give up? Colin. I keep saying Colin. Colin. Oh yeah. I was supposed to tell Fun King 3D how to say the name of my home county. Because yes, red light, I do. Mike, I do like eSun Filament. I don't know about their PLA, but their PETG is fantastic. Good job, Ricky. Oh, and Colin's done for tonight. So I guess we're stuck on here talking with me, which is cool. You know, we're well over now. Might as well just go until y'all get tired of talking, or until you go to bed. And no, we're not going that long. It's 11 minutes after 10 here. I do like eSun Filaments. They're PETG. You don't know about their PLA. There you go. Inside the Mind of Matt. Peace out, brother. We'll catch you on the flip side. He's a busy man too. He makes a lot of content, Matt does. I went back and watched some of his old videos. It makes me, you know, everybody got to start, you know. You can't all start with the best equipment and all that stuff and best lighting and stuff like that. That's why I asked these questions on earlier, and Ron Hunt was so you know, nice to help me out there. So no, Brian, not a convertible benchy. Let's see. Okay, I'm out for tonight. Need to do a video still. It was fun. Ron Hunt, brother, have a good night, and I can't wait till your video comes out. I haven't watched the latest one because I was actually on with Colin when it was published, so I didn't get to see it yet, but I will. And love you, buddy. Take care. Come back and see us. Okay, back to the Star Wars stuff. Yeah, and I got some ships and stuff. I love Star Wars. I'm gonna tell you right now, I love Star Wars with a passion. But I love Star Trek just as equally. I'm not, you know, I'm not one of these. I'm not a Star Wars homer. I don't know what they're called. I don't go to Star Wars conventions. I don't go to Star Trek conventions. I would. I'm not saying I wouldn't. They just don't have them here. Okay. So where was I? Was it 1977, 78? I can't remember what year it came out with. My Uncle Clyde took me to see Star Wars, the first one. And I have seen every Star Wars in theaters, except the first one, on opening day. So, my wife kind of hates that, you know, but hey, Mike, take it easy, buddy. Appreciate you being here. Come back and see us. Some sweet tea with you next time. I don't have any either. I really need something to drink, but I'm not going to take a break because, you know, we're just talking. Anyway, hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna turn my mic. All right, guys. The only reason. All right. Why am I? Uh-oh. We're not receiving data from your encoder. What is going on here? Can y'all even see me? I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. Are y'all doing anything on the internet in here? That shouldn't matter. All right, are we getting anything yet? Yeah, now it says I'm okay. All right, I don't know. It was blipping. You don't dress up or anything. Okay. Thank you. My daughter bring me some ice water. She freaked out because I had the TV turned sideways.
It was like a tablet, and I was like, "Dang, is that like the?"
Yeah, I'm back.
room?
How you like this setup?
It's pretty cool.
The way the table is and all that. I'm using the GoPro.
This is a tiny space you get.
I know. Tell me about it. The room's not very big. All right. Yeah. Okay. Back to Star Wars. So I've seen all the Star Wars in the theaters. I have a couple of Star Wars ships. I don't know where they're at right now, but if you notice over here, the tins and the cups and all that, this was from The Last Jedi, and the movie theater they had the special, and when I went in, it was well after the, and we're getting off of 3D printing. I'm sorry. I hope our cruise went well. It did. Wait, who's leaving? Ron? Oh, good night, Ron. I missed it. Oh, no, I didn't. I told him bye. Red light, I told you bye. All right, cool. Oh, yeah. Anyway, but they had these on sale, and I got them. I got them all. I got everyone they had with the tins. But now I will tell you, I also subscribed to Eagle Moss's Star Trek ship collection, and this is not all of them. I'm just grabbing them. So I have all the ships. Well, lots of them for every book, and I've got about, I don't know, there's this many books here, and I've got 1.5 times more down there. And there was a ship with each one of these. So I have quite a few Star Trek ships because I did the Eagle Moss collection thing, you know, and it covers all of the movies, all of the TV series, and all of that stuff. The stuff that you see Star Wars here, the hanging pictures, the canvases, those were gifts from my kids, and I had them up in my office. And when I no longer had an office, because I'm working from home now, I stuck them back here because my daughter was moving out of here into the other room because we lost our, well, we didn't lose, but our other daughters, you know, they moved out and all that stuff. So we now have our maker space. I have a question for y'all. Everybody always calls it a maker space, right? But the more you make, the less space you have. How's that work? So it's not a, yeah, it's a maker space. It just gets smaller as you make. But anyway, so we put them in here. And Ricky, her cruise did go well. She enjoyed it. And I went with my uncle. He didn't really care for it. You know, he's an older uncle. And he passed away when I was 13. And I hate that, but I wish my kids could have met that man. But Star Wars, Star Trek, with me are pretty much on equal footing. Yeah, and I know that maker space hog. There you go, Brian. But I know that, you know, that may upset some folks. Some of the Star Trek or Star Wars folks, they're like, that's sacrilege or whatever. Yeah, no, it's not. It's good stuff. Always less space till kids move back in, then even less. You know, Robbie Mack, you're right, because they always come back multiplied. It's kind of weird how that happens. I don't understand that. George Carlin's routine on stuff. Sorry if y'all can hear the gulping. I'm sure you can. Because you keep having to add space. Actually, Ron Floyd, you're right. We've talked about it, and I think I talked about it in one of my other videos. Either we're going to get one of the rent-to-own wooden sheds, you know, buildings that you can get and put outside, and we're going to wire it and make it into a space, or we're going to we have a pretty big back porch that we never go on. It's a crap catcher. And we're going to wall that in and roof it over and make a maker space out of it. I'm not sure. We've got, you know, 2.5, 3 more years, whatever it is, 3.5 more years, 3.25 more years, and my youngest daughter will graduate, and that's the last one we have in the house. So then we have another room, and we could actually set up a maker space in one room where the printers and vinyl and all that stuff is actually set up to actually do work. And then another one where we could do videos to work on things. And Brian, I'm getting to you in a second. I will get to that. But that's one thing that we're looking at doing. Because I named this channel Kuntry 3D because of these. I put an all melded building in 12 by 26 installed for 4K. Yeah, I don't have an extra 4K. Sorry, you know, it's not something I want to spend right now on a building. I'm still doing floors and stuff in this trailer home. Brian, yes, I've never understood that either. I don't know why anybody would say, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a whole lot more canon and material in the Star Trek universe. There really is. I mean, you look at the number of series, the number of movies, it dwarfs Star Wars by a mile. Well, Colin, that means that your office downstairs guest bedroom is a makerspace. Ah, Robbie Mack, that's right. And when I hit that $39.95, guess what? If I got $4,000 on Patreon, I would go get it. I will promise you, if I raise $4,000, it would be used to buy a building to put in that would be an exclusive space. So y'all get started. That Robbie Mack, you're the driver of that train. All right. So I don't have, and I need to learn how to do that. Maybe Chris Riley or somebody like that, they can message me how to set it up so that when you get a Patreon or you get something, it'll tell you. I think there's a link you can do where somebody subscribes and it'll pop up. And I don't know how to do all that crap. You love both, Tanner. You do? That's nice. Star Trek Discovery, I got most of the way into that, and then I stopped because I actually like the Seth MacFarlane one. Crap, I can't even think of the names right here. Can't think of the name of it right now. But the Seth MacFarlane one, I loved it. I loved it from the opening one by Country Building. That's right. That's your hashtag. Go with it, Robbie Mack. That'll work. And believe you me, you hit that $4,000 mark, we're buying a building to put all this crap in. Anyway, so yeah, Colin, I do. I dig Star Trek Discovery, and it's right on the tip of my tongue. The somebody type it in there. You know what I'm talking about. If you watch sci-fi shows, you watch that show. I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the adultness of the Seth MacFarlane version versus the stuffed shirt version of Star Trek, if you want to say that. And I know I get bit by somebody. Believe me, I'm a Star Trek fan. Don't think I'm not. But, come on. Not Streamlabs, no. The sci-fi show that Seth MacFarlane did. and it's the name of the ship. I can't remember. Oh, you'll be all right. You ain't. What do you think? You gonna melt, Ricky? Might float away. I can just see little Ricky floating away. Don't get too wet, buddy. You got to get on stage. There's electronics on there. They do shock you. Yeah, the Orville. That's it. But they do shock you. I did a show outside one time because I told you I was lead singer in a band, and I was holding the microphone and it was lighting my lips up, and you could actually see the blue sparks between. And Brian, you've only seen 3 episodes. You really should watch the entire series. The Orville was a good show. I liked the adultness of it. Oh, Firefly was the bomb. We only got 1 season of Firefly, Ron Floyd, which I've got, and I've got the movies. It's like Farscape. I loved Farscape. Hey, Noah and Josh, we're not talking about printing anymore. We're talking about, sci-fi shows right now. We're just talking. But, oh yeah, no crap. Oh, I got you. Streamlabs.com on my donation setups and fancy notifications. Link it to your YouTube. Oh, I can do that. You haven't heard of Farscape, Ron Floyd? Or Firefly? Because Firefly, I've heard of. And the movie Serenity was the bomb as well. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Stargate was great up until, they moved the Farscape crew over to Stargate. So, what's his name? Matt Browder and Claudia Black. And when they moved over, it was still good, but it wasn't Stargate as I knew it. Stargate Atlantis was fantastic. I wasn't a great fan of Stargate Universe, but they didn't give that series a lot to go with. So, but yeah, Stargate, the movie, is one of my favorite movies of all time. Dune is probably my #1 favorite movie of all time. The original 1984, Frank Herbert Dune. My wife can't stand it. So you're still going, so I came back. All right. Hey, Dragon Monk, how are you? We're talking about movies and sci-fi. I can't believe it either, Noah and Joseph. I can't believe that it's taken this long to get to 200. Really can't. You should be there already. Because once you get to 200, then you're going to be like, oh, only 95 more to go to 300. More recently, The Expanse is awesome. I haven't gotten into it yet. Colin, I have been looking at it, and I have it in my favorites list to do. Oh, wow. Thanks, John Mack. I appreciate that, buddy. I do. I really do, man. That is stinking awesome. I enjoy that. I don't know why. I'm just sitting here talking. You might get a few videos out of me, I guess. Stargate Universe, I wasn't happy when it was canceled. Okay, Brian, I get it. I never got into the series, and I think it's because I didn't catch it when it was on TV. I tried to catch it through web versions, and they had some I don't know, there was like a season 1.5 or something, or 2.5. It was just, it just threw me for a loop, and I may give it another shot and see if it's any good. But everybody doesn't like everything. I'm gonna tell you, Ricky, Richard Dean Anderson. Oh, Robbie Mack, we're almost there. Yeah, I don't have cable either, Ron Floyd. I got internet. I watch everything through the internet now. Richard Dean Anderson. Yeah, Ricky, back when he played MacGyver, I actually went back and tried to watch the old MacGyvers. Yeah, it was a little cheesy for me, bud. And I guess when I was a kid, it was awesome that he could do all that with a paper clip and some chewing gum. But now you go back and you just go, boosh. Yeah. So, yeah. It's like I used to love Buck Rogers, man, but God, I tried watching that the other day. Hey, there's Ron the Happy Extruder. Altered Carbon. 2070 was the same vintage as Stargate. I can do that. What was that? I don't guess I had cable at that time when that was on. And STU actors had other scheduling conflicts. That's cool. I mean, you know, I don't have any problems with it. It wasn't my cup of tea. Twiki. Yeah, that's right, Brian. Twiki. And dude, Buck Rogers was bad. Beady, 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 beady. Yeah, that. Right, Buck. Yeah, I watched that. It was probably not even a couple weeks ago. My wife gets upset because I have a list of movies and stuff and TV shows that I watch when we go to bed because I keep it on for the. Come on now, I watched one of the new MacGyvers. It wasn't too bad, Ricky. But I mean, you can't compare it to Richard Dean Anderson because you know it was new then. It's not new now. But I have a list of TV shows that I watch: Star Trek, Star Wars, Dune. Let me see what else. There's a couple off the wall movies that I like to watch, and she gets upset sometimes because I'll watch them night after night after night. You know, one of the trilogies I loved was the Riddick trilogies. The Battlestar Galactica. I actually like the newer ones versus the 70s. I like those a little better. How 9000 beats Siri. Yeah, that's right. He does, Ron. Space 1999. No, I watched a couple of those Robbie Mack. No. I actually watched the 1959 Lost in Space series completely, start to finish. I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I liked it. It was pretty good. So. Brian, you're supposed to say it right. I'm sorry, Ron. I'm afraid I can't do that. Yeah, no, I agree, Ron. Disney's The Black Hole was absolutely decent. Absolutely a good movie. There's lots of fantastic science fiction. I'm not trying to knock any of it. We got started because of the Star Trek stuff back here on the wall. Or Star Wars stuff. And then we got into Star Trek, Star Wars, and then we just, went. We just went. So, we're still going. What? Man, that's because Doctor Who is in a class by itself. Wait, out of camera range up here. You see that? But to me, only the 13th Doctor. Tom Baker was the best Doctor ever. And that's because it was late at night on PBS and I was, 10, 12, 13 years old. I loved Doctor Who. And yes, Ron, Maximilian was a cool robot. Till he killed everybody. Forbidden Planet. Oh, goodness gracious. Forbidden Planet, I actually watched 2 not too long ago. The shows are good. They're campy. You go back and watch a lot of old shows, Ron, especially like Lost in Space and stuff like that. They were campy stuff. But Robbie Mack, Tom Baker. Tom Baker was the Doctor. I don't watch the new Doctor Who. I haven't watched any of it. None of it at all. I've watched every old Doctor Who. On the UHF watching Tom Baker. That's right. Kids don't even know what UHF is anymore. They don't remember the 2 dials. Hey, Ron, I hope that was a... Yeah, Brian. That's right. That's right, Robbie Mack. You're right. You're right. Oh, get out, Colin. Get out. No, I'm just kidding. You can stay. That's right. Hey, Ricky, you should have been at Murph, buddy. You think this is a chat room full of nerds? You should have been at Murph. Really? I was in hog heaven, and I'm promise you, I'm a redneck. I'll be out working on the truck tomorrow, under that 1984 GMC, in the shade, as a shade tree mechanic. Promise you that I will be out there. Oh, right? Right? Yeah, Ricky, I believe it. You know, Ron, the Happy Extruder Ron, it's funny you say that because I had, you know, the old black and white 13-inch TV with the 2 dials, and you're right, you could tweak it in between, and you could get channels that would come in that weren't yours. Oh, Robbie Mack, that sucks. You only had Saturday morning, and we did leave out early Sunday. We left at about 3 or 3:30 on Sunday. Um, I wish I'd have stayed around. Just watching the Murph videos, I got an overdose of nerddom. You should have been there, though, Colin. It was fantastic. And the cool thing about Murph, and I'm pretty sure that the cool thing about the ERRF, is going to be everybody's there for the same reason. They're all there because they love 3D printing. So no matter what, when you walk around at Murph or ERF or any other, it's not like a maker's fair. Like the Happy Extruder Ron and I are going to be together at Jacksonville this coming weekend. But maker's fair is for people who make stuff. Yeah, Ricky, right? Robbie Mack, that's right, had the tinfoil on there for reception. But anyway, when you go to a maker's fair, you meet all types of folks, all types of makers. You know, they do all types of stuff, and you see that at Murph or ERF. But the majority of people, 99.9% at the Rep Rap festivals are there for Rep Rap. Rep Rap. I better say it slower. So you know that's what you can always have a conversation around that. You know, if you go to a comic book convention or you go to, you know, a science convention, you broaden the range of all conversations there. You know, like we're doing with sci-fi here, which is cool because we can do Star Wars, we can do Star Trek, we can do Lost in Space from 1959, you know, or Star Trek from 1965. I don't care. But when you're at a Rep Rap convention, 99.9% of your talk is going to be about 3D printing or Rep Rap. So, I mean, we're having great conversation here. I'm so glad we're sticking around and doing some commenting. I don't know. Let's see how many people are actually watching this stream. Does it even tell me? I just got a peak concurrent. I don't know nothing about this. Peak concurrent was 14 users. If they ever have a festival in Nashville. See, and the problem is, John Mack, the only problem I had at Murph is I didn't know when those presentations were. I even missed the entire race. I didn't even get to see the RC race. Oh, 11 watching. Okay, so we got 11 people here, which is cool. That's fantastic. But I didn't get to see the RC race, which upset me. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see folks race their cars. I wanted to see that stuff. And it upsets me I didn't get to. And also, like, when they were announcing stuff over the loudspeaker, where we were at, you couldn't hear it. You know, they gave stuff away. I could have won 15 times. I wouldn't know it. Yeah, I'm sure it will. I don't know. Let me see. I'm on the channel. Oh, I can watch the analytics. I guess I can pop over here. Concurrent viewers is 9. Your table PA system don't hear the announcement. I didn't catch that. I don't get that. I don't get what you were talking about. Okay. Anyway, so chat rates down, but I don't care. All right. Let's go back up here. I'd like to watch the stream here. Yeah, and that's exactly right. And see, Ron, that's cool. I mean, one problem that I had, and it's one thing I'm struggling with at going to the East Coast Rep Festival, because you know I made this printer and I took it to Murph, and everybody liked the printed printer, and that was great. And everybody's like, oh, you need to do one for East Coast Rep Festival. I don't know that I want to take one to the Rep Festival on the East Coast yet. And the reason being is because I didn't get to see anything. You really needed to be at your table so that when people came by, you could talk to them and you could, you know, explain stuff. They could ask you questions. You could interact with people. As you can tell, that's what I love to do on my videos and stuff. You know, when I'm in Colin's live streams, I stay on the chat pretty hard. Hey Ron, that's pretty cool. I'm glad. Just tag me on Twitter, man, when you get it ready, and I'll be all over it. Hey, break a leg, Tanner. Knock him dead, buddy. For those of y'all that don't know, Ricky's a singer or he's in a band, plays on stage. And on Wednesday, I think on his Facebook page, he actually does a Facebook Live little concert for people to look at. I hadn't been on it yet, so don't hold me to that, but I think that's what he does. Yeah, no, Ron, and I get that, but at Murph it was a little different. There really wasn't a lot of covering each other, and especially me, because you know the only person I knew there was Glenn when I first got there. John Mack, you could have got the A8 out, buddy. Now, if you didn't have it safe, people would have pointed at you, because even Joel asked me, and all I had was the bed, if I had made it safe. And of course, this one's soldered, so you know it's good. But yeah, no, I mean, dude, I think every printer that was brought in there, and everything everybody did was acknowledged and was celebrated by everybody there. That is the coolest thing about Murph. Ricky Lee Tanner, woo! I'm a fanboy. Let me get my lighter. No, I'm just kidding. I'll check it out one day, Ricky. I promise I will. Later. But that was the coolest thing about Murph, was everybody was interested in what everybody else was doing. The problem is I didn't really know anybody there that was set up. You know, I could have asked the guys that were from MakerBox that were right at the table next to me, or I can't remember the guy's name. He's on my Twitter page. Yeah, he had a printer that he was designing. I could have asked them to watch my table, but you know, they had their own stuff. They had their own thing that they had to do. And I'm trying to read chat. Hold on. Yeah, and you're right. You're right, Robbie Mack. It was packed on Saturday. Matter of fact, Sunday, couldn't talk. If you watch my video, my throat was gone Sunday morning. And my wife kept me on track, because I did walk around a couple times and left her there, and then sometimes I would take her with me. But I really wanted to see more of the festival than I got to see with the table that I set up. You know, I think that if I go to IRF with just my printer, because I think Ryan Prior, I think his name's Prior, and I'm probably saying it wrong, Priori, I don't know how you say it. He's actually building another one, a printed printer, and I think he's going to take it to IRF. I'm not 100% sure, but if he did, I would probably be able to take mine and set it up on his table. And he could say, yeah, this one inspired me to do this, and I could leave it with him, and I could go do my thing, and that would be awesome. I tried not to leave my table unattended, because when people come to your table, they want to talk to you. You know, now if Ron and I are at Maker Faire in Jacksonville, this coming Saturday, and it's only Saturday 10 to 5. It's only a one-day event. We come in, set it up. I don't have a problem saying, hey, Ron, I got to go to the bathroom, or hey, Ron, I'm going to go grab me a sandwich. I'll be right back. You know, I don't have a problem doing that. And Ron would be able to do the same for me, because he would be able to explain, you know, my process or my stuff, or I could explain his printer, or, you know, we could both answer questions about 3D printing. Murph, pretty much anybody can answer questions about 3D printing. They wanted specifics about your printer or what your project was or that type of thing. And I couldn't just leave my wife there to cover my butt. So, because she doesn't know about 3D printing. It's not her thing. She wants to do the vinyl stuff over here with the vinyl cutter. And she wants to etch glass, and she wants to do that type of stuff. And we do that. We do that together. We do the making thing together. But she doesn't know anything about 3D printing. So I couldn't just leave her there. So I'm really considering either just taking this printer to MRRF and just setting it up, letting it run, and maybe putting it on a table with somebody that could say, you know, yeah, it's a Cartesian printer with printed extrusion. You know, that's pretty much all you really needed to say. It was cool because nobody had seen it at MRRF, I guess. Because as I said earlier in the video, I saw lots of people build the frames, but never put them together and make a printer. I've seen the Snappy, but I've also seen the crappy prints that come off the Snappy. This thing has fantastic prints. All the parts on this were printed on this. You know, so yeah, it makes some good parts and good prints. I could go get some, but I'm not going to right now. So, all right, who we got left? Y'all sound off. We can talk a little longer if you want to. I'll give it. Let's do this. Let's do it 12 more minutes. And let's stick to a hard 12 minutes this time. That'll be 3 hours streaming for what was essentially a 1 hour stream that I told people to get off of. Printer printed my ANET A8 sounds more impressive. Yeah, I guess so, John. Okay, 3D Medic. My address is in the description down below. So if you want to send me your maker coin, dude, I really want to do a mail show. I really do. I think that's so cool, and I would get into it so much. A 3D printed vinyl cutter. Holy crap. Hey. No, I didn't think of that. Now I did. I think that's supposed to be I was going to do it. Ron? Still entertaining questions. Are those printed extrusions just butt jointed together and super glued, or is there some reinforced? It's already been asked, Brian, but I'm gonna answer it again because it's pretty simple. It's super glue. There's nothing. And as a matter of fact, let me see. If you look real close, you can tell it's crooked. I didn't sand them flat. I didn't do anything. I pulled them off the print bed and put some super glue to them and glued them together. That was it. That's all I did. Printer printed by ANET A8. That's what this is. This was printed by an ANET A8. So, Dragon Monk, have a good one, buddy. Appreciate you stopping by. Come back and see me anytime. Anytime I'm here, anyway. Or even when I'm not. These are on YouTube, so you can see me anytime. Let me say this about this community, guys. About the 3D printing community. It's fantastic. If you don't know, they will tell you, or they will try to help you find out. If you're struggling with something, they will try to help you. The 3D printing community is just like, you know, pretty much, I ain't gonna say every hobby community, but it's a great group of people. Hey, I have yet to meet some that were not. You know, there's a lot of different people. I met a lot of introverted people at MRRF. I talked about that earlier in one of my other videos. I'm not, in case y'all can't tell. But it's hard to tell because even a lot of YouTubers are introverted. I'm not going to name any names, but even some big YouTubers are introverted. Hey, Ron, appreciate it, buddy. Just let me know. Hit me on Twitter, and we'll talk about it after that. Sounds fantastic. Thank you for stopping by, and come back and see me again sometime. You're always welcome in the trailer home. Always. You know, but one of the biggest YouTubers there, I'm not going to say the biggest, but one of the biggest YouTubers there is a great guy. Uh-oh. Who is it?
Incoming call from 850-228-4157.
That's my daughter. The one that's at UF. All right, guys. Ron, the Happy Extruder's jumping off as well. I will see you Saturday. Cool. I'm going to stop asking questions and let you stick to your third hard deadline. I'm going to watch Fun King's Octopi vid to finally get Octoprint set up. And that's cool, man. Go right ahead. I've got 8 minutes. I'm going to stick around for 8 minutes. So, you know, I'm not going to cut you off. That's for sure. But, that being said, Ron Floyd, have a good night. Ron, the Happy Extruder, have a good night. Robbie Mac, I'm here until the end, buddy. Be looking for a package from Amazon. Oh, God, somebody's sending me something from Amazon. Okay, Mike, I will, buddy. I promise. And I will save a couple up until I get a couple packages. Somebody was sending me a maker coin, or said about a maker coin. Yeah, 3D Medic vents. If you want to send me a maker coin, guess what? It's down there in the thing. I'm working on stickers. So send a self-addressed stamped envelope, except for red light. If you're sending it from Amazon, you can't really do that. Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. I hope you send it as a gift, though, Mike, because, dude, I get Amazon packages every day. My wife says I have primnesia. So, because I open it and go, Christmas, because I don't remember ordering it. Are my kids still here? Danielle and Lorenzo? Pi 0W mount for Octopi use. I don't know if y'all have seen it or not, but Joe Mike is no longer making the pin setup for the Pi Zero. And not to knock you down, Colin, but Fussel herself, Gina, and I can't say her last name, it's in German, and I don't speak German. I speak a little bit, kinda, but I speak redneck German. Gina, the lady that wrote Octoprint, said that it's not a good idea to put it on a Pi Zero W. So I actually have one. I have it. I was planning on doing a video of soldering it, putting it in my Pi, or in my Einzi, and setting it all up. And then she gave me that answer and shot holes all in that boat. So it sank to the bottom. So I don't know, just the processing power of the Zero is just not that great. And when you talk to Fussel, she's actually running her Mark III. Oh, okay, well that's great if it works for you. But she's running her Mark III on a Pi 3 Plus or Pi 3B, whatever it is, with a USB cable. Yeah, and I think that was another thing, Brian. I think it'll run Octoprint fine, but you will see some stutters, especially if you're running big prints, from what I understand. We'll do. I'm still watching them. Robbie Mac, really? Come on, man. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think with some big prints you get sometimes you'll get some stutter and some delay, which can cause some issues. Yeah, and it would be slower than a B or a B plus. I don't even know about the B plus. I don't know that Octoprint's ready for that. They don't have a an image for it yet. I don't believe. No, and Colin, I'm sure you wouldn't. I'm not saying you would expect it to slice on it. It's just not as powerful as the other pie. I mean, it's that simple. I'm not saying that it's not good. Yeah, G-code, you're right. Not Mike, and I will look out for your package. Hopefully it shows that it's from you, and I'll know that it's one of those. Because like I said, I get a whole lot of, Amazon packages. I really do. Way more than I should. And they're not all expensive. Yes, Colin, I was born and raised about 3/4 of a mile that way. I actually bought this house, and land was right next to my grandmother. My dad lives right back here, and just over catty corner, just a little bit behind him, my mom lives with her husband. So we all live right here on the same hill again, just like when I was 3 or 4, just not in the same house. But yeah, I was born and raised right here in good old, wait, I want to make sure Fun King gets this because I know he don't ever watch this stuff. It's Wakulla County. Wakulla. Wakulla. Not Wakulla, not what color, Wakulla. I went to Wakulla High School, went to Wakulla Middle School, went to one of the elementary schools. We only have one high school. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. Oh, no. Yeah, no, Robbie Mac, that's fine for a camera. That is absolutely fine with Octoprint and a camera. We were talking about